Whole team shining, we stars, big dipper. Get a lot of haystack gang in the sip. Niggas ain't real, nigga. Nope. You gotta feel me, nigga. Yep. Smile in my face behind my back, you tryna kill me, nigga. Damn. You say you got beef, then what you wanna do? What? You screaming, fuck me, nah, nigga, fuck you. Bitch. You ain't hard at me. Nope. Couple kick dough, couple robberies. Nigga get extorted, get aborted, he don't pay the fee. Posted in the north, got the 2 to 4 recipe. I be cooking chicken, bitch, not talking rotisserie. I got all my hater, man, I know that they sick of me. Who the fuck he think he is, motherfucker MB3? I honestly pay him no attention. They up under me. Haters call me Visa cause I'm everywhere they wanna be. Ladies, man, catch me with more honeys than a bumblebee. Say she got a husband, but she always wanna suck the D. State gang, true sipper, who these niggas wanna be? I've been getting money since a younger. I've been pushing peace, stay strapped. Gotta watch your back when you're in the streets. Friends turn to foes, never know who your enemy. I was in Detroit, he ain't keep the same energy. West side down the slide, I don't think he feeling me. I was on some demon time, nigga talking about killing me. They no business, let's see all that shit that you gon' do to me. Come outside, why you scared? I thought that you been a G. We don't bluff, we pulling up, we different down in Tennessee. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitty, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white square, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitty, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white square, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. I got an old school bitch, call her Aretha. Shawty so fine, shawty she a keeper. Smoke that reefer, preferred by the quarter. I do this for my kids, my sons and my daughter. Get treated like a king. Hoes call me sire. One look like Lotto, the other look like Maya. My plug, he ain't playing, he only talking the numbers. I cop it, whip it, and ship it. My money coming in bundles. Different flavors of kush, orange, grape, and apple. If a nigga trap me, it's gonna be a disaster. Dope money and bitches, pimp robbers and snitches. It's all in my hood. My homies say that I'm gifted, I really can't complain. Shit's starting to change, a product of my environment. Tell me who can I blame? Neck like a glacier, bought my shawty a bracelet. Money go get her, that's why these niggas be hating. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitty, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white squares, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitty, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white squares, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitty, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white squares, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitty, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white squares, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Whole team shining, we stars, big dipper. Get a lot of haystack gang in the sip. So cold, but I'm so hot. Dope boys, I'm up in the trap, I'm dope boy. With them knives. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Down 8 gram, headed straight to the block. Pirates, this water while till it's hot. Listen up, look, turn a little to a lot. Right hand on the cell phone, take an order. Left hand 360, motor to a lot. Blue holler tips, got switches on the dot. State gang, true sippers can't be stopped. Laughing at you haters while I'm thumbing through the paper. Says long live to the bottom, won't you meet me at the top? The nigga ain't shit, yeah, get that a lot. Won't be deterred and I won't be stopped. Shaq D's the number one, I post up on the block. 24/7 cause the hustle don't stop. 31 flavor, take an order like a waiter. I be selling more gas than a local truck stop. 1200 strong, 4 pounds of the zop. Got me shining, I'm a star. Ask about me, I am legend. They gon' tell you who we are. Fuck these niggas, fuck these bitches. Get money, all I know. No love for these bitches. Never saving these hoes. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap on dope boy fresh with dope boy not. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap on dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap on dope boy fresh with dope boy not.
When I'm thinking about the past, yeah, gon' get some nice gang, we at the spot. If we ever was short, then it's back to the block, you probably get shot. Every day the sun change, we getting money, that's one thing that's never gon' stop. Real dope boys do what it takes, playing high stakes, living to die. Do your time, keep it quiet, no matter who you are, don't get what you got. Stack it up, that's the bond to stay fresh. Oh, they think that you're not. Take a roll with a hoe, they gon' let you go. Somebody's gonna say you ain't hot. Just invest in yourself, don't worry about nobody else. There ain't no handout. If you say the same, put it on the chain. Let them see you ain't tied down. Got a couple rings, did a lot of things. I ain't really gon' talk about it. Give me a trade, get you get to go. She gon' show up and show out. So don't ask me what a dope at, cause you already your ground.
The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Low key, niggas hating cause they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we gon' eat. What's up, Fib Nation? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Keymosh. Thanks for being a member for 24 months. Dalton Politics, whoever runs that, your mammy raised the hoe. Now, I don't know why my post got took down because I don't be over there no damn way. But because I did my video yesterday and it was shared in Dolphin Politics, I thought the people would want to know that she was the Cassandra Hobson Jordan lady was under my video talking shit about Kiana. And I was just like, but you didn't say none of that to her in the thing. And I just pretty much I showed the screenshots of her coming under the video and some of the shit she was saying. I responded to some of it, like saying, you ain't call her a big back when she was in your presence. And then I asked, why in the hell? She said, somebody said, take your loss. And she said, I did win. The goal was to run. And I asked, when the fuck is the goal for being a politician just running and losing? Like, if you don't win, you didn't complete the goal. But she said she won because her goal was to run and get 152 votes. That's counterproductive to me, but whatever. But yeah, they took my post down. So whoever runs Dalton Politics, your mama raised the hoe. But we're doing one strange news story this morning. It's gonna be it's like a 2-hour thing. It's about this young lady that you see on the screen, a 5-year-old. And I believe, I don't know if I did this story once before, but the stepmom killed her from not, it's this 5-year-old dies after bath time with her dad's girlfriend. I think I did cover it, but this is like a deep dive into it. And she's a pastor too, Ebrook. She a pastor. Good morning. But yeah, let's keep it simple. I don't know how the internet gonna do, but we're gonna try it and see what's going on. Let it go.
On July 27th of 2022, I received an email from a woman named Tirza Russell requesting to speak to me about the murder of her 5-year-old granddaughter. After researching what I could about the case, I realized that there was so little out there about this child. Very few articles and almost no one telling her story. Miss Russell asked me if I would be her granddaughter's voice, a duty I accept and commit to handle with care. Here is Janaya's story.
Good morning, my white friend.
On Wednesday, September 11th of 2019 at around 7:45 a.m., 911 received a call from someone alleging to be the babysitter of a child that was unresponsive at an apartment complex in Las Vegas called The Suites.
Fire medical. What's the address of the emergency?
4855, Baldwin Highway, the street.
What apartment number?
In 1161.
I'm sorry, 1161?
Yes, building in.
It is in Nancy?
Yes.
All right, tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know. I gave my daughter, or my little girl I was babysitting, I gave her a bath, and she, I don't know what's going on at this point.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Is she awake?
No, she's unresponsive at the moment.
Okay, so is she awake and unresponsive, or is she unconscious?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, so are you where she's at right now?
Yes, I am.
That's my first red flag. You dating the child's father. You've been around her for some years, and you couldn't even say my daughter, my stepdaughter. You was about to, and then you said the child I was babysitting. Red flag number 1, you ain't give a fuck about that child.
5.
Is she awake?
No, she's unresponsive at the moment.
Okay, so is she awake and unresponsive, or is she unconscious?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. So are you where she's?
I just want to go on record and say, if I leave Grayson in the care of someone and Grayson ends up dead, you know who else is going to be dead? It's not going to be me. It ain't going to be me. I deal with the consequences and hope a jury understands why I did what the fuck I did.
I'm not sure if she passed out. Her eyes are kind of open.
Okay. Is she breathing?
I'm not really sure. I can't tell.
Okay. So these are questions. All right, we're getting help started, but these are questions that are very important for me to know. So what I need you to do is put your ear next to her mouth and see if you can feel or hear any breathing.
No, I cannot.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get her on her back on the floor. Do that right now.
Okay, she's on the floor. Not on the back.
Okay. And she's still, on her back on her back on the floor.
Okay.
All right. She's still unconscious, not breathing, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do, okay? You're going to place the heel up, and you said did you come in there and find her like that, or were you in there with her when she did that?
On her bed, and I went in there to check on her, and now she's just unresponsive.
All right. This is what we're going to do, okay? So we're going to go ahead, and do you know if you have a defibrillator in the house?
No, I do not.
Okay. So you're going to place the heel of your hand in the center of her chest, okay? And just make sure there's no pillows or nothing underneath her neck, okay?
There's nothing.
All right. And just look at her mouth and make sure there's nothing in it. If it is, take it out.
Nothing in her mouth.
All right. So you're going to place your hand on her forehead, the other hand underneath her neck, and then you're going to tilt her head back, okay? And one more time, I just want you to put your ear next to her mouth one more time and see if you can feel or hear any breathing.
I don't feel or hear anything.
All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you how to do mouth to mouth, okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to pinch her nose closed and completely cover.
I did want to say this too. The other day, she ended up getting, I guess some girls were bullying her because she played outside and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And I guess they ended up jumping on her.
Okay.
And I don't know if that could have possibly had anything to do with it, because she did get beat up pretty bad from the situation.
Did she go to the hospital when that happened?
No, she didn't, because,
Okay.
we thought it was kids stuff. So.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's start this, okay? They are coming, though. Is there somebody else there with you that can open the door for us?
Nobody's here.
All right. All right. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to pinch her nose closed and completely cover her mouth with your mouth. And you're going to blow 2 regular breaths into her lungs, okay? About 1 second each, just to make the chest rise with each breath, okay?
Okay.
All right. So did you feel or see the air go in and out, or did her chest rise at all?
Her chest rose, and then the air just blew out her mouth.
All right. And she's still unconscious and not breathing?
I'm assuming that.
Okay. It's still the same as what it was when you checked just before you did that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to place the heel of her hand on her breastbone right between her nipples.
Her
Okay.
hand?
No, your hand. You're going to place the heel of your hand, okay, in the center of her chest. You're going to, and then only with the heel of your hand touching the chest, you're going to push down about 2 inches, and you're going to start pumping her chest hard and fast 30 times, at least twice per second. So I'm going to count with you, okay? And then after the 30 times, we're going to do 2 breaths, okay? So let's start pumping, okay? We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go ahead, pinch her nose, tilt her head back, and blow 2 more breaths into her lungs, okay?
Okay.
Let me know, and once you do that, start pumping her chest again 30 times.
Oh, sorry.
Now, if she wakes up, they're there? Okay, I'll go ahead and let them take over, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
When the first responders arrived, the child, 5-year-old Janiah Russell, was laying on the floor of the residence near the couch. She wasn't breathing, she had no pulse, and she was unresponsive to pain. Only one other person was in the apartment when the medics arrived at around 7:50 a.m. And that person, responders that the last time she had checked on Janiah was around 4 a.m. Immediately, bruising was observed around the child's face. Then when the medics cut off her shirt so they could administer aid, they found similar significant damage to her torso as well. Chavion Miller told them that the little girl doesn't have any previous medical history. She also ruled out any possible injury resulting from a fall. Miller did, however, mention that Janiah had been in a fight outside with other children a few days prior. Janiah was rushed to Sunrise Hospital in the back.
Mimi, why in the hell did you put your live on private? I was about to share it and share. I'm about to send some folk over there to watch it, and I see you put it on private. Why? Put that video on. Maybe you ain't do it on purpose, man, because I know on my mobile stream, my shit automatically go on private. But yeah, it was a great conversation from the part that I was in there on because I don't know the entire scope because it was 3 hour live. I just know we had great dialogue the hour that I was up there, I think.
Back of an ambulance. Upon arrival at the hospital, the child's body temperature was only 88 degrees. This is about 10 degrees cooler than it should have been. Janiah was described as covered in bruises. Contusions were found on her forehead, eyes, lips, neck, arms, legs, and stomach. She had also sustained lacerations to her mouth and nose. Then she had serious bruises to her bottom, as well as 2 black eyes. Observations also revealed 3 broken ribs that were determined not likely to be from CPR. But the worst of all Janiah's injuries was a major laceration on her liver that led to internal bleeding which, sadly, the little girl never recovered from. She'd passed away long before she got to the hospital.
I got a phone call from social services or from CPS. He called me and he said, I have to tell you something. I have some news. And I'm like, couldn't even fathom to think of what he was going to tell me next. He said, I was reading the paper. He said, Janiah. And I said, who? He said, she passed away. I said, who passed away? What do you mean she passed? It was like an immediate emotional separation from that moment, that phone call. The memory is fuzzy after that. And I just remember saying, what? And according to Sarah, my youngest daughter, she was there. And as soon as I said, what? Like, think of a bomb. And when it hits, it just explodes out. So when I said that, she came running in the room. And according to her, she said she had to catch me because I was going down. You know he's gonna leave Grammy and Nene, right?
Yes.
With your daddy. You know that, right?
Yes.
You gonna have fun with your daddy?
Yeah.
That's good. You can call Grammy anytime, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna give your daddy my phone number because I love you.
I'm going to talk to my mommy, and then I'm talking to my mommy when he's being mean to me.
Okay. That ought to be interesting.
And
Okay.
then
I thought I shared it last night. I guess I didn't because it would have been like I don't see a space on my community wall where it would have shown I had shared some. Maybe she put it back up later on today. But 1 year before Janiah's death, she is sent to live with her father. Oh, well, I can't tell on my page where I did. Like, there's no blank space. Normally, it would be like it would be the stakes in the wine glasses expires in, and the screen will just be blank because the video been put on private. I thought I did. That's what I'm saying. But shit, my community wall don't show it. He's sent to live with her. That's what I'm saying. Like, I need to hear from this nigga. I don't think I want to say he was absolved of any wrongdoing, but I'm just like, bruh. Like, I need to see him irate or something doing one of these interviews, cussing that bitch out. Like, where's she at? I need to see him in court trying to hop over bailiffs and shit.
That's why mommy tell me I can't. Don't my dad touch me, and then he's still touching me.
Well, hopefully you
At the house.
won't be doing all of that, okay?
Okay.
You just have a great time with your daddy, okay?
Okay. My mommy tell me, don't let my dad touch me. And then they still touching me.
The coroner stated that the injury to her liver was so severe that it likely killed her within minutes. But these weren't the only damages Janiyah Russell sustained. There were small tears and abrasions to the little girl's genitals, inside and out. The doctor claimed he believes these are from blunt force trauma and introducing something foreign into the child's body. Then, underneath Janiyah's fingernails, a male sperm sample was found, as well as another smaller sperm fraction inside the child.
Wait a damn minute. This bitch stuck something in her or even played. Oh, wait. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I know it's police and stuff out there, but no, man. I'd have crashed out. I definitely would be in jail too. What the fuck? Like, when I got the call that my child is dead from her or the police, like, who? I'm going straight to that bitch. Y'all better get her before I do. It ain't no way in hell. Then hearing the autopsy reports, man, I need to go to jail for visitation. Can I see her? Put me on the list. Oh, what it? Hell no. All of that. Why? I bet this bitch didn't have no kids of her own.
Janiyah's death was ruled a homicide, and her cause of death, blunt force trauma. Her tiny little body seemed to have been used as someone's punching bag. This beautiful child with an infinite smile and never-ending energy had quite clearly been beaten to death. If the coroner was right, one can only hope that her passing was quick and she didn't have to suffer for long. Her estimated time of death was initially believed to have been within an hour of first responders arriving, but that's something we'll come back to later, because it may very will be an important key to the hospital. This takes place shortly after arrival, before Chevion gives official voluntary interviews to police. This is the first time you'll see her on camera. Pay no attention to the time shown on the body cam, as it's inaccurate.
Hey, ma'am. Are you babysitter?
Yes.
Are you family?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you? I need to stay right here, please. Okay. I know this is very difficult right now. Okay. I just need to get some information from you really quick. Okay. And
No, I was dating her dad.
okay. And what's your last name? Your first name? What is it? What's your date of birth? And your social? No. And good phone number for you, please. Thank you. Is it Siobhan? And then who's the father? What's you know his date of birth? And what's the child's name? Janiyah. Can you spell it, please?
J-A-N-Y-A-H.
And her last name, Davis? Okay, you know her date of birth?
August 26, 2014.
Thank you.
This bitch keep describing herself as the babysitter instead of the damn stepmama.
Outside to play, and she came back. Looking up.
And when was this?
It was like the day before yesterday or yesterday.
So Monday?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, so you went let her outside to go play and she came back all scruffed up?
It might have been yesterday, yes.
Yesterday? Okay. Did you call medical at any time?
Hey, Nina Ray all day. Long time no see. You still be getting it in the gym?
Yeah, it was no big deal.
Did it progress? Did she complain of anything in the
I
past?
just didn't send her back outside after that. And like I said, I was telling the nurse that when she was in the tub, she was like on her side, so she was kind of like sniffing and drinking the water. I don't really know how to explain it much, but she was like you know.
This morning?
It was last night. She took a bath for it. Yeah.
Okay, and then what happened this morning?
And I went to go. She went to bed last night. Everything was fine. Went to go check on her. Like I said, she was up 4 o'clock. I would say around that time.
This
looked
morning?
at me. Maybe it was a little later, maybe 5. She looked at me, laid back down, didn't really say anything. Then I went to go check on her again, and she was just staring up.
What time did you look at her again?
Around 6, maybe 7. No, it's been around 6.
And she wasn't responding to you?
No. I'm sorry, I'm trying to check the time.
And then that's when you called 911? You called at 7:45?
Yes, so I would say about 7. Based on my check time.
Give me an audio check, people. How is the audio sounding in the chat there? Is it playing fine? Is it doing good? Because I saw the what do you call it? That little Wi-Fi signal. It had dropped to 1 bar for about 3 minutes, so I was a little worried there. All right, it sounds great. Good morning, YOLO Swaggins. Cool. All right. Shout out to the internet today.
Just laying there.
Okay. And then that's when you called 911?
Yes.
Okay.
When I realized she wasn't playing.
Okay. All right. Just hang tight for me, okay? We'll get some people to, would you like, I know you have somebody here. Would you like somebody else to come help you through this process?
Good morning, Miss Lynn.
Okay. Just hang tight for me, okay? Hi, young lady. You awake? Hi.
I'm not sleeping.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't want to assume. I'm Officer Marshall of Las Vegas Metro. Hey, are you able to do a volunteer statement?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you one. Okay. I know you already talked to Officer Corvettes, so I'm not gonna re-question you a bunch of stuff and all that. I'll get any information you need from him. Okay. And really, he's still in charge of whatever's going on over here. Okay. What happened to your head? How you get scratched up?
Let's see. Another reason I wanted people to see the live that Mimi did is because you will see myself, Urban Therapist, Vons, and Mookie, who I didn't even know was up there because I knew Vons was up there. Then when I dropped down, Urban was up there, but I didn't know Mookie was up there till somebody said his name. But yeah, I saw all of us on a panel coexisting. We didn't speak to each other, none of that, but we all partook in the conversation. We act like adults. And I think that's something that everyone should see.
What happened to your head? How did you get scratched up?
I'm not sure. I didn't even know I was scratched up.
No?
Okay. Still happy.
Yeah, I get it. You from Cali?
No.
Is that 504? Oh, I thought that was Southern Cali. I'm gonna close this out so you can have some peace.
There's no peace.
Well, you know what I mean. So other people aren't all up in your business, you know?
This has to be a joke.
Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry it's not. I'm gonna explain this to you, okay? You can take your time, fill it out at your convenience if you want to fill it out, okay? Here, I'll give you this best to work on. So if you want to start here, can you see it or no? This is your name, okay? Just fill out all this information as correctly as you can, including a good address and a phone number for you. In the details, it's literally whatever you know happened, okay? From last night, I know there was some mention of some water getting swallowed and stuff like that. Probably important stuff to put in here, okay? When you're all done, I'll be right here with you, okay? Any questions to anything so far?
Why did they keep trying
Keep trying what?
to save her? I thought she was paid. She was just leaning. So where do we go from here?
Well, a couple detectives will come out. Obviously, they're going to have to do a little bit of an investigation, at least to determine what happened with the job. And they'll talk to you and get you through your side of the story, whatever happened. That's why I said you don't have to fill this out because they're going to come in here and talk to you anyway. Okay. And then from there, whatever they decide will happen or wherever their investigation will lead them, we'll go from there.
See, this is before homicide detectives ever got to it. This just a official responding dude. He ain't got no reason to hold a question or none of that. They ain't got no autopsy yet. And the only way he would have had some type of probable cause to think he was suspicious is when they got her in there and they was doing a little quick examination and they saw bruises and all of this stuff. But no, that's what I'm saying. Daddy, man, I don't give a damn. Like in this instance, he probably didn't know what was going on, but I'm still questioning you like a motherfucker. This is my child. And from all accounts, he had missed the first four years of her life any damn way. It would have been no understanding. But then we do know these women be lying like a motherfucker, so she probably made it seem like it was an accident the same way she did to the police initially.
Yeah, that you should know. Girlfriend or babysitter has some cuts on the back of her head. They look pretty fresh. Has no idea how they got there. Thank you. You can see it in between the braids. Yeah. But it looks pretty fresh.
Shortly after this body cam footage concludes, investigators arrive at the hospital and record voluntary statements from Chevion Miller. This is an edited down.
Well, I was fucking wrong. In the preliminary reports, they said they seen cuts on the back of the damn baby head. Oh, hell. Every time I hear something new, I still got to be like, what's up with the daddy, man? I'd have beat that bitch to death. What the heck, man? Look.
Version of the first one.
Today's date is September 11th, 2019 at Sunrise Hospital. Also present is Detective Hernandez, P number 7567, and investigator Rosalind Flores from the coroner's office. Are you from Vegas? Where are you originally from?
Louisiana.
Louisiana? Okay. How long have you been out here?
Since I was 13.
Okay. Did your family move from Louisiana, or did you come out here by yourself?
I moved with my auntie, and then I was in West again.
Okay. All right. Now, it's my understanding that you live with a Mr. Richard Davis.
Yes.
Okay. And that's your boyfriend? Okay. How long have y'all been dating?
5 years.
5 years? Okay. Do y'all have any children? No. And does he have any other children other than Janaya? Did I say it right? Okay. How long have you guys lived over at 4855?
Like for 5 months.
About 4 or 5 months? Okay. Do you work?
No. Not at the moment.
Okay. Have you worked prior?
Yes.
What kind of work did you do?
Call center. Surveys.
Okay. Was that here in town in Vegas?
Yes.
Okay. And you say you've been out here since 3. Okay, so you've been here for 10 years. All right. Does Richard, what did he do?
Walmart.
Walmart? Okay. When was he let go?
Just got custody of her a year ago.
Okay. So the mom had.
Okay, I see it's messing up, so I'm going to skip it back about 30 seconds and give it a time to do what it needs to do. Okay, it's went back up. Let's see. Let's try it now. So I skipped it back there.
Outside help and stuff like that.
Okay, so you got friends and family, maybe, or?
Yeah, we were supposed to be moving with somebody.
So you've pretty much been involved with Janaya since she was born, since she was a baby, yeah?
No, he just got custody of her a year ago.
Okay. So the mom had, did they share custody prior to that?
No.
So mom had full custody, and now he has full custody.
Pretty much.
Okay. Do you have any contact with the mom?
Not really. She calls, but when she calls, we just let her talk to Janaya. She don't really talk to us as much.
Okay. All right then. Do you have any family here in town currently?
I do, but I don't associate with my family as much.
Not with yours? Mm-hmm. Okay. And what about Richard? Does he have any family here?
We seem like everyone's family.
Okay. Does anyone else live with you guys over at 4855?
Mm-hmm.
In the household pets? Dogs, cats, birds?
Just a cat.
Just a cat? Okay. Who takes care of Janaya when you guys are working?
We switch out. Typically when he works,
I work on his off days. So the days that he's off, I stay at home with her. And then the days that I'm off, he stays at home with her. And then we need somebody to, we just have somebody to watch her if we need to.
Okay. Well, and how is Janiyah? Is she a healthy little girl? Is she playful, active?
Yeah, all of that.
Any medical concerns with her?
Not at all.
Did she go to school?
She was about to start.
She left start to go to what's fine? So kindergarten?
She's smart. She was going to be in first grade.
Oh, okay. Was she already enrolled?
No, we were moving around, so we didn't. Like I said, he just got her, so he didn't really have her social. And the little girl we were babysitting, we had to pick her up from school, and he was going to see if we could put her in her school.
All right. So let's. What I'd like to do is we want to talk about how we all ended up here today. Just be honest with me and tell me the story. All right.
Yesterday, she was outside playing, and she came back in the house crying because she had run into a scuffle. But last night after dinner and stuff, she ended up getting in the bath. She was in the tub, and it's like she was like quite sniffing or drinking the water, and I had to correct her about it because she was like, I don't know if she was like, I don't really know how to explain how she was doing it, but she was like trying to breathe almost in the water. Like I don't really know how to explain it, but so like I said, I corrected her about that everything was fine. Put her to bed, checked on her. Like I said, she wakes up periodically, so a few times out the night she gets checked on. And by 4 o'clock, I would say 4 o'clock because it was right before her dad left, got up and checked on her. She was fine. She was up. He left. I laid back down, went to sleep, got up to check on her because, normally she's up at a certain time. And she was just staring. I don't really know. It's that look she had. I thought she was just laying there or just playing, but normally if she sees me, she'll pop her head up or something. So I just didn't pay any mind to it. So I went to go lay back down for like another 30 minutes until I realized she didn't get up to knock on the door. She didn't call for me or nothing. So I went to go check on her again, and she was still looking the same. So I was just like, okay, something's wrong. And at that point, I called her dad, and then I called the hospital.
Okay, so you say yesterday, which is going to be Tuesday the 10th, you said she was outside and that she had gotten into a scuffle.
Or something up to where she came back, just ruffled up, yes.
About what time do you think that was?
It was like later on in the day, older time of day, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe.
So about 4 or 5? Who was home at that time?
I believe it was just me home at the time.
So she say that she came into the apartment. Mm-hmm. How did she look?
Beat up. Like her eyes, her face, she just looked like somebody had roughed her up. Her hair was pulled. Her clothes were messed up. Like she was all dirty and stuff. Like she was just outside playing or, getting roughed up or something. And by the time we went out there to go see what was going on, everybody was gone. It was nothing or no one to be found.
All right. Well, so what did she tell you happened?
She was just like, they were being mean to her. And I kept saying, who was they? She was like, the kids. Like she was just really upset.
So she didn't tell you the names of any of the kids or?
She had just started going outside. So I don't think she would even know their names like that. It's like, we don't send her outside like that. It shouldn't have been no kids on her, to be honest, but.
Has she got hurt like that before outside?
She don't go outside.
So this is the first time?
This line bitch got an excuse for everything. Cause one thing the kids gonna do, especially if they know them, they gonna tell you exactly who. They gonna say their name over and over again. They did this, such and such did that. She just started going outside. So why did you feel comfortable letting her go outside? If she just started. I can see her daddy doing it. Why did you feel comfortable letting this happen? And why the fuck weren't you out? Let's just keep it real. She was 5. Why in the fuck are you inside the house while she's outside playing any goddamn way? This is gonna trigger me. I probably shouldn't. It sounded like a good idea when I was like, ooh, long. I don't think so at this point.
She's ever been outside?
It's not the first time she's been outside. That's just one of the first few times.
Okay.
And I didn't really think to, ask where were you at when, I figured I knew where she was at.
Did you hear any?
Right by the pool.
Did you hear her cry out or cry for help or?
No.
You didn't hear her screaming or crying or anything like that?
She's a tougher kid.
She's tough? Okay. So she comes in after the incident outside. Did you check her body out to see what was going on? Did you see if she was hurt?
She was.
And what did you see hurt?
Her face.
Can you? So what was on her? What did you see on her face?
She had a black eye, and then like the other side of her face was kind of messed up. It was some other things. I don't know. I think her mouth might have been messed up.
So what happens after you check her out?
I checked her out, made sure. Like I said, I went to go see what was going on outside. Okay. Everything had died down at that point.
Did y'all have dinner that night?
Yeah, of course.
What was for dinner?
Well, we don't honestly have much in the house right now, so she just had tater sauce and a sandwich.
Did she eat what normal size portions?
You ain't go knock on no doors or nothing. I heard you say that she came in and wasn't nobody out there, but you ain't go knock on no goddamn doors. So you don't know what the kids look like or where they live at neither. You ain't see no. This is so all the kid, man. The daddy should be. I'm just saying, I'm not advocating violence. I'm just telling what I would do. My child ain't here. Ain't no need for me to be here. Fuck it. Fuck it. Crashing out.
Yes.
What time do you think dinner was?
She got to bed at 9, so I would say it was like maybe 8:30. I think it was.
Okay, so at 8:30, 9 o'clock, she seems fine. She had supper. Is Richard home at this time?
Yeah.
So he's what time did he arrive home?
Like right before she had to go to bed, so like 8 something.
Okay.
It was like 8 something.
And where was he at?
Jania's father, Richard Davis, was gone during the time Chevion claims the little girl was in a scuffle with other children on September 10th. He was, in fact, at a Popeye's chicken restaurant eating food with another man. We can verify this with security footage from the establishment. During the video, while waiting for his food to be made, he can be seen being very annoyed about something. I have no clue and can't even begin to speculate about what made him so frustrated. Nevertheless, for the purpose of creating a timeline, let's quickly recap what Chevion says happened to Jania from Tuesday, September 10th.
Man, her daddy gay in a bitch. That's why he don't give a damn. His gay ass didn't want custody of his goddamn child. He's so motherfucking zesty. Hell no. That I did not know this. Plot twist. Do y'all see this nigga wrist at the drink machine? He ain't give a fuck about that baby. And that's probably why the mama had him gone for 4 years. How in the fuck now I want to know how did the zest monster end up getting custody? The mama was doing right, keeping her away from this this gay guy. Kanye, you almost rubbed off on me. I caught myself because your video did not get monetized, sir. They was like, no. And the little AdSense revenue I'm getting, I got to bust that down with DJ Academics folks. So I'm probably getting like a penny per view off that motherfucker. Only getting 3 if you goddamn it. This is weird. But now y'all seen that nigga wrist. That's why he don't care. He out here living his best life, sucking dick and shit.
Footage from the establishment. During the video, while waiting for his food to be made, he can be seen being very annoyed about something. I have no clue and can't even begin to speculate about what made him so frustrated. Nevertheless, for the purpose of creating a timeline, let's quickly recap what Chevion says happened to Jania from Tuesday, September 10th, when Richard was out eating, until emergency personnel Chevion during her first interview with police. Between 4 and 5 p.m. on Tuesday, September 10th, Jania is in an altercation with children outside the apartment complex she lives in. She comes home crying, upset, and beat up, sustaining a black eye, additional facial damage, possible mouth injuries, and pulled hair amongst other signs she's been roughed up by someone else. But when Chevion goes outside to investigate, she doesn't see anyone suspicious. A short while later, Richard returns home at 8 p.m., just before Jania eats a dinner between 8:30 and 9 p.m. consisting of tater tots and a sandwich. Chevion claims that Jania ate a normal portion of the meal before taking a bath and going to bed at around 9 p.m. in her normal spot on the couch in the front room. She follows up that she and Richard then went to bed at around 11 p.m. While in the bath Tuesday night following the altercation, Chevion claims Jania was trying to sniff, drink, or breathe the water in the tub. She states that she had to correct Jania about it, but offers no further explanation during this interview. She goes on to claim that everything was fine when she put Jania to bed. She then says she checked on the child at around 4 a.m. and the child was fine and up. This was just before Richard left to go donate plasma in town. For those of you who don't know, plasma is the liquid part of your blood. You can donate it regularly for cash. Richard then leaves the apartment at around 5 a.m. and can be spotted on a bus heading into town. Soon after, Chevion gets up to check on Jania again, and this time she does so.
Is it me or did this nigga say 4 a.m.? Who the fuck? Yeah, 4:01 a.m. she checks on the baby. She was fine and up. What time does the plasma bank open where these motherfuckers at? And she checked on him at 4 a.m. and this nigga gets ready to go give plasma. He didn't check on his daughter? Is this what the people want me to believe? He didn't go check on his daughter. And she was sleeping with him after he was fucking white boy Brad earlier that day. What have I gotten myself into?
The liquid part of your blood. You can donate it regularly for cash. Richard then leaves the apartment at around 5 a.m. and can be spotted on a bus heading into town. Soon after, Chevion gets up to check on Janiyah again, and this time she does so by pulling back the little girl's covers. She claims Janiyah was staring back, open-eyed and blank. There was no interaction exchanged between the two. Chevion lays back down for 30 minutes before realizing something is off, as Janiyah, uncharacteristically, was not yet awakened up. After checking on the little girl for a third time and realizing that Janiyah was indeed unresponsive, she decides to call Richard at the Telechrist Plasma Donation Center because he left his phone at home. After 6 minutes of talking with Richard on the Telechrist phone line, the call ends and Chevion contacts emergency services just before 8 a.m. Now that we've got the timeline down, I'd like to remind you not to get comfortable. Chevion provided 3 interviews to police, and her story does a fair bit of changing. Her third
Wait, so Candy, you know about this? Candy said, keep listening, it gets worse. It gets worse than her daddy was a sissy. He wasn't gonna pretend, but that was his time to shine. He's supposed to went home all gay and stuff. I'm finna whoop all these kids' ass. He's supposed to been clicking, whooping mamas and shit. That was his time to shine. Oh, so this nigga leaves at 5. They ain't been no mention in there him checking on this damn child. She checking on the baby. But this is after that. Is this supposed? All of this is supposed to be after she came inside and was fucked up. So they just was cool with letting her have a black eye from the neighborhood kids and scratches and all the brute. They was cool with letting her have this with no follow up or nothing. No, hey man, police, my child fucked up. I don't know where they came from. Y'all need to knock on some doors. They just was cool with, okay, my 5-year-old got a black eye and cuts on her mouth and shit. We just finna go to sleep. All right.
third interview is a full-on video interrogation. If you really want to help piece together what happened to Janiyah Russell, stick around. The family could use your help. It's also worth noting that while the couple don't have any other kids themselves, they regularly babysit for other parents. Specifically, during this time, 2 little girls aged 5 and 1 that belonged to an ex-coworker of Richard's named Liz. The last day they babysat these children was Monday, September 9th from 2 to 11 p.m. Their mother Liz had worked with Richard in Walmart before being let go. He, Chevion, and Janiyah were all about to move in with Liz, with the plan being to babysit her kids full-time as a means to pay rent. Of course, this would never happen because the day Richard planned to move was the day Janiyah died. And these aren't the only kids that Richard and Chevion looked after. And we'll get to that in a minute, as that information comes with a bombshell.
So you check on at 7:30, 7:45. How did she look then?
And at that point, I figured something was wrong. She was looking the same, not moving. And then I realized her hands were really cold. So I turned on the heater, thinking that maybe she's just really cold.
What, did you check her breathing?
Yeah.
Was she breathing?
I don't think so. I couldn't really tell for sure.
You say you called Richard first?
Mm-hmm.
What did you tell him?
I just told him he needs to hurry up and get over because I don't know what's going on and she's not breathing. And he's like, well, you need to hurry up and go to the hospital. Like, okay, I just wanted to.
Okay, so then I'm guessing paramedics arrive and they grab Janiyah up and take off. So part of what we do is we examine Janiyah's body. Mm. She's got a lot of injuries. She has a lot of injuries. And earlier, when we first started our conversation, I asked you to make sure that you're honest with me and you tell me the truth with what happened. Mm-hmm. And that's important. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I can tell you that the extent of injuries that she has on her body is not from a scuffle.
I don't know about the extent of injuries on her body.
Well, I can tell you that I've seen her body, and I'm telling you, this didn't come from a scuffle out in front of her apartment. Her injuries are extensive.
Yeah, the only thing that I knew of that was new to me was the spot on her stomach. I don't know where that came from at all. I mean, anything else I told you about, that's what I saw, and I did mention that.
So this all happened yesterday. You got to tell me how she got hurt like that.
I'm telling you how she got hurt like that.
She didn't get hurt like that.
Well,
I need you to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you.
That child's injuries did not come from a scuffle out in front of your apartment complex.
Tell me what the injuries
I'm telling you.
I'm not trying to be funny at all.
I know you're not.
I'm really trying to figure out because the only thing I know about was her face.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and speculate. She knew that nigga was gay, and she was taking it out on that baby.
And then, like I said,
she has bruises all over her abdomen, all over her arms, all over her legs, all over her face, all over her head, all over her neck. She looks like she's been in a fight with an MMA fighter. She didn't get this from a scuffle out in front of your apartment. I'm telling you 100%, no doubt in my mind. I don't doubt that she was beat, but this didn't happen out in front of the apartment complex from some kids.
Wow.
And when she was in the bath.
The most she did was like.
Describe that for me. I was just kind of wondering what that was. What do you mean she was sniffing the water? What is
like I said, because like I said, after that or whatever, she was laying down in the tub and she was like kind of on her side. So like, I thought she was like just laying in the water and then like maybe blowing the water out her mouth, like out of her mouth area so she can breathe or whatever. But I realized that she was kind of like, it kind of seemed like she was like trying to drink the water or something. Like I don't really know how to explain what she was doing because once I seen her doing it, I was just like, okay, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's dangerous.
What'd she say?
She don't talk back. She's just gonna get up and not just
go back.
Yeah, she's just gonna stop doing it.
Did you have to get her out of the water or anything like that?
No, but the water was kind of like high to her body. Like that's why I'm saying like if she's laying flat, you see how little she is, and it was like halfway covering up her. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was like, okay, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like
when you got out of the water, how long was she in the bathroom?
I don't know, because like I said, she ended up staying in there a little while longer because I let her wash herself off, and then she watched to be in the tub. So she soaked herself up and stuff like that.
Did you wash her like vaginal area or anything like that? Was she especially dirty or anything like that?
What?
Her private parts, her vaginal area.
Did you say was she especially dirty?
Yeah, was she dirty? You said she got in a scuffle.
She had on clothes.
But did you have to wash her any like the normal? I'm just like other than normal stuff.
No, not at all.
Okay. You said you had to correct her.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Told her to not do.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, what else to do? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm really still stuck on the fact of what you said. I really am.
When she came in, because you said that Richard wasn't there, and she told you that she got into a scuffle out in front of the building. Did you call him or send him a text? Hey, she got into a fight?
I would say he don't really have a phone. The phone he do have is on Wi-Fi, so typically he's not really going to take that phone because I'm the one that has Janiyah. Mm-hmm. So in case of an emergency, I need to call somebody, which we don't really have emergencies. And we don't ever really need to call nobody, ever.
Okay. As far as discipline, because she is 5, and all of us here have children. We know how 5-year-olds are.
She gets whoopings.
Did she get a whooping? Okay. Explain to me how she gets a whooping.
Honest. It just depends on what she did. She was a very different type of kid.
I was sure about to say his gay ass was getting in contact with that white boy he went to Popeyes with. And he got plasma and he working off a damn Wi-Fi phone.
Kid, so like I said, it just depended on what her actions were. Like sometimes she'll be in the corner, workout, that type of stuff.
What do you mean workout?
Wall sits, like because I don't really like whoopings.
Okay.
So I make her work out, or she stand in the corner.
Give me an idea of an exercise program you put her on for discipline.
Like say if she's been lying, she can do wall sits, and then she can do some push-ups.
Okay, so she'll put her back up against the wall with her legs bent, and then she holds her hands up?
Yes.
How long will you make her do that for?
I would say it just depends. So I'd say for lying and stuff like that, or trying to be in wrong folks' business, it just depends. Like she'll do sets, like you know what I'm saying? So say she'll do count to 10, stand up, and then go down, count to 10, stand up. It's like that. It's not like no extreme workout challenge. It's really simple stuff.
How many push-ups?
10. Everything's count to 10.
Okay. When she gets a whooping, do you use your hand or you use an object, a belt?
I don't really give out the whoopings. I leave that to her dad. But if he's not really like there and it's just like, okay, she's being too bad and my form of punishment is not working, then it might be a belt. But yeah, that's about it.
Was she disciplined yesterday?
No, for what?
I'm asking. I know. Was she disciplined?
No.
A 5-year-old doing 10 push-ups is torture. Her grown ass probably can't do 10 motherfucking push-ups.
For anything?
No.
What about the day before?
No, we were released the day before. So if she was looking like that, somebody would have seen her like that.
No, I'm saying just as far as discipline. I'm not saying that she looked like that 2 days ago. I'm asking if she was disciplined 2 days ago for anything for being bad.
No. Say for example, if anything like yesterday, she don't really like to learn. So when she was pretending not to know a word that she was sounding out, she's really smart. It can take her a minute to do it, but sometimes it can take her longer because she doesn't want to learn. So for that, she had to stand in the corner. But that's the most she had to do yesterday, was stand in the corner.
So she stood in the corner yesterday?
Yeah.
Do you remember what time that was? When were you doing studies?
Around 12.
Why did she get put in the corner yesterday again?
Because basically she didn't want to. She knew where it was, and she was pretending like she didn't know what it was.
A what word?
A word that we were working on. She was pretending like she didn't know what it was. So she ended up getting in trouble.
What was the word?
Fat.
Fat? You know, does she...
She can be, but we just work with it.
I'ma skip that bet. And I go through this daily with Grayson because she's learning how to read. And you know what I do? When it get to the point that Grayson is frustrated and she also is getting anxious because she sees I'm frustrated, we just stop and we come back and do it the next morning. But this is things I've learned after raising 3 kids before her. But apparently she punished her for having a brain fart, even though they didn't say she was in Head Start or kindergarten. She said she was about to start school. So she wasn't in any formal educational setting, and you punished her for not knowing a word. Can't be in Head Start in it because you said that Daddy didn't have the Social Security number or any of that stuff. Then they would have been at Head Start instead of outside getting imaginary beat up. This is fucked up.
It's an easy one. Yeah. Is she receptive to discipline? You know, does she...
She can be, but we just work with it.
Okay. Does it frustrate you?
She's fine.
It's typical 5-year-old behavior, yeah? Okay. All right. So occasionally she'll get a whooping with a hand or a belt. She also does, what do you call them? Wall sits? Wall sits and push-ups? Yeah. Sit-ups, anything like that?
No, squats.
Squats? Okay. Is that against the wall or freestanding?
You know squats. You don't know.
I know what squat is, yeah.
Yeah, it's freestanding.
Okay. All right.
Can I ask you really quick too? I know we had touched on it, but you had said she had complaints last night.
Mm-hmm.
What were complaints? Was she complaining with headache? Was she complaining like she wanted to throw up?
No, she didn't ever say she wanted to throw up, but you asked like, oh, does her hair and stuff like that, right? Yeah, she did say, yeah, it hurts a little. And she didn't really, like I said, she's kind of tough, so she doesn't really complain too much. So if something was really bothering her like that, I don't think I would have known because, like I said, she's tough, so she would have probably just tried to sleep it off.
I was just asking because I thought you had said she did have complaints last night. Did I hear that wrong?
No, you had heard it right. Yeah, she did.
So then I just want to be clear that her complaints were that you asked her if her head hurt and she said yes.
No, it hurt everything, just because of the fact that what happened. That's part of the reason why she ended up getting the bag because,
Did you tell Richard about the scuffle up front? Mm-hmm. What did he say?
He was concerned. He asked what I did. And then, it was just like, he's the type of parent, he's a guy, so he just feels like it'll make her tougher. He was concerned, but he don't really show his emotions like I do.
Did you call the police?
No.
Did you call security?
No.
Did you go knock on any doors?
No, because she was just supposed to be playing outside.
So your little girl comes in, black eye, bloody lip.
I went to go see what was going on, but like I said, by the time I got out there, it seemed like everything even the pool is open.
You didn't knock on no doors? You didn't say, hey, did anybody see anything? You didn't see my kid get beat up? You didn't ask nobody?
I didn't think about it. And yeah, she was spitting out blood when she came back too, like her mouth.
Man, way to go, detective. That detective got kids. That's the same shit I said. Like, wait a minute, y'all niggas went to sleep talking about y'all child came in like that? And I said, y'all didn't call nobody, y'all supposed to call the police. Somebody had them knocking on. Ain't no goddamn way. My child gonna get their lick back. It's gonna be a whole bunch of motherfucking kids around her with black eyes and busted lips if mine come home like that and we were just outside at the jungle gym. Great job, detective.
That's what I was saying. Like her mouth was like it wasn't like really like licking, but I seen it was like red.
Is she wiping up with anything?
I cleaned it.
With what?
Tissue. Just tossed it in the trash. In the toilet.
Flushed them down?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me ask you this: is there any domestic violence issues in the home?
No.
You ever get in a scuffle with Richard?
I mean, everybody argued. Dude.
Everybody argues. You ever place hands on him?
No.
We have to ask. Drugs or alcohol use in the house?
I mean, we smoke,
Smoke what?
weed.
It's legal now. I mean, we don't care. Is there anything else?
No,
I mean, we're not here for that. We're not drug people. We're not, is there any meth or any
no,
cocaine we're gonna find in the house or nothing crazy like that? Okay. And we just have to ask.
none of that.
Has anybody other than you or Richard watched Denial this week?
How would you describe these whippings that she would get? Ever pretty forceful? Did she cry?
Well, don't you kids cry after getting yelled at? I had to sit the baby in the corner because she kept fighting her sister.
Okay, but can you describe the lumpy saying that's like you said it was with a belt? I mean, pretty forceful, pretty hard.
We don't do weapons with a belt all the time. That's why we do workouts and stuff. But if she do have to get a belt, it's on her butt.
Okay.
First off,
When's the last time she got a whipping with a belt? I don't know. You don't know?
no,
You can get whipped within the last 24 hours.
no, that she shouldn't have. No, like I said, she was standing in the corner. That's the most trouble she could have possibly been into.
At any point was she with her dad by herself without you there?
Not for none of this, I don't think.
And when she moved, or when dad got full custody, was she with mom before that?
Foster care. She was with her mom, but she went to foster care. She got a back with
Foster care here or where?
in Colorado.
And if I seem like, I know agitated is the right word, I see injuries like this on children. And because you don't have a better explanation other than she was outside and got into a scuffle, that's not good enough. That's not.
I understand that.
I'm sorry. It isn't.
Okay.
When a child has that, when her body is bruised from head to toe like that,
I promise you, I'm really trying to figure out.
you're telling me that you didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. And when Richard sees the stuff like that, what makes her tougher? Both of her eyes are black. She has 2 black eyes. She has bruising all over her stomach, her arms, her legs. She looks like she fell out of an airplane. And you're telling me it was a scuffle outside. And then you didn't call the police. You didn't tell security. You didn't do anything. I'm assuming you've been with this girl for 5 years or for a year. I'm assuming you love this little girl. You take care of her.
She called you mommy, right?
She calls you mommy. And she comes in beat up, and you're like, oh, well,
I'm understanding.
no big deal.
No, it's not no big deal. When she told me I'm ready to go fight, I'm not ready to call the police. I'm not ready to call security. I'm ready to go with somebody else because you did my child.
Then why?
That's the type of person I am. I told you when I went out there, it's like everybody had disappeared. Nobody was outside playing no more. The whole situation just completely died down. What am I supposed to really go
You
do?
didn't knock on no neighbor's door and say, hey, did you see anybody put their hands on my kid?
Like I said, I really didn't think about it. I was just ready to whip some ass right then and there. And when I'm in that mode, that's all I'm thinking about. And especially when it comes to her.
All right, you got a little bit of a temper.
No.
No?
When it comes to the right reasons. Somebody putting hands on her is the right reason.
So if my kid,
And
if
I
we
didn't
found
know she was, her arms,
Yeah.
her legs,
Yeah.
her head.
Yes.
No, like
I'm
I
not
said,
making
the
this
most
up.
I knew about was her face. But the fact that you're saying is all that, I'm really confused. I'm genuinely confused right now.
Me too.
I didn't know it was that serious.
That's why I want a better explanation.
Can you give me one?
I wasn't there. You were there.
I wasn't outside with her.
You're saying that all those injuries happened to her from a scuffle outside your apartment. That's what you're
That's the only way I know where it's coming from. I'm being so thrilled right now.
All right, that's what we're going to go with. In follow-up?
Nope, that's it.
Operator, this is Detective Conover. That concludes the interview. The time is 11:52.
Roughly an hour and a half after Chevion's first interview, while still at Sunrise Hospital, she requests to speak to authorities for a second time. This is where her testimony starts to change drastically. For the record, there's no doubt that Chevion Miller is lying about what happened to Janiyah. This is irrefutable. The question, though, is for what purpose is she being deceptive? You'll want to watch this whole documentary before you make up your mind. It's crucial that you're aware of all of the available details first.
It is September 11th, 2019. The time is 13:26 hours. We are at Sunrise Hospital. And also, again, we'll be speaking with Chevion Miller. And Chevion, you said that you had some more information that you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that when I called 911 initially and they told me how to do the CPR, water was coming out of her mouth and nose. So I don't know if that had anything to do with anything, but her mouth and nose had water coming out of it as I was doing the CPR.
Water?
Yes.
Okay. And you were getting instructions on the phone about how to do
As I
CPR?
was on the phone doing the CPR. This is why I'm really bad. I completely forgot about that. It was as I'm pumping, it's water coming out of her mouth, just flowing out of her mouth and her nose on the floor, right in front of the couch.
Did anything else come up with the water?
It was like mucus. And matter of fact, I think she had some spit like hanging out of her. I don't know how I'm forgetting.
Ma'am, you do know that you didn't describe any of this to the motherfucking operator as she was telling you how to do CPR. You didn't say any of that. The last thing you said to her was, they heard. But you didn't tell first responders that neither. You lying son of a bitch. She had a couple days to think of that lame ass excuse.
everything that I needed to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, she had like that's what made me even acknowledge it too. She had like spit hanging out her mouth and stuff when I went to go check on her again. And then, like I said, once I called and did the CPR.
Hey Terry, don't be looking at me like that. I was smoking. I had walked off.
Not smoking.
Yeah, I was smoking. Yeah, I had walked off.
What's she lying about, Trey?
Water coming out that baby mouth when she gave her mouth to mouth. Lying heifer.
Oh, wow.
I don't care what nobody say. She found out that nigga was gay and she took it out on his child because she couldn't do nothing with him.
You know, it's sad,
That was
but
how she was hurt when she found out he was gay, and the way she hurt that nigga was to kill his child or to beat his child. And according to her, when she did the shit, his response was make her stronger. Motherfucker, she 5.
Oh my God.
Make her stronger. She this woman constantly describing a 5-year-old as tough. I don't know no tough ass 5-year-olds. They all crybabies. Everything hurt when they fall. They whiny.
Wow.
It was water coming out of her mouth and nose. It was water coming out, and the only thing I could think of, she just kept saying, just checking to see if she's breathing. And that's the only thing I was worried about. I didn't even say, oh, it's water coming out while I was on the phone. I was just trying to check and see if she was breathing. I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that she was drinking the water in the tub or whatever it was that she was doing in the tub. So it's like, I really don't know.
When did she get it back?
Like last night.
What time?
Probably right before dinner, so like 7.
Was Richard there?
I'm not sure. I don't know, because I feel like when around the time when it was time for her to go to bed and stuff, I feel like he came like right after she went to bed. I'm not really like I said, I completely forgot to tell y'all that the water was coming out of her nose and mouth, which is a very important detail. So it's just like I can't even remember if he was there or not. Like I'm kind of traumatized, if you would choose to say. Like,
did she dress herself after bath, or did you dress her?
I typically dress her.
And I know I asked you this before. When you got her dressed after the bath, you didn't notice any of these other bruises that we've been talking about. Because remember, I said her body's covered.
No, that's what I'm saying. I would have noticed it getting her up the tub. I really did not notice all that stuff. I'm telling you, like even with her head, like the fact that you're saying her head is whatever you're saying is going on with her head, I'm really like surprised. The only thing that I know of that she could have possibly done, but my nieces haven't even been around, they headbutt each other a lot. But my niece haven't even been around her. Right. So it's just like, I'm not understanding at all where she would be getting these head injuries from.
Okay. Obviously, we're going to find out what more injuries we're going to have tomorrow after the exam.
More?
What other injuries? We don't know. I don't know what's inside. I don't know what's going on. So that's up to a doctor to tell us what.
She had internal injuries?
I don't know. I have no idea. So we're going to have the doctor examine. If there are other injuries, we're going to know. We're going to find out.
Yeah, of course.
Is there anything else we're forgetting to ask you? Anything else that would have happened that might have caused these things?
No, but now, like I said, I'm kind of upset that I didn't tell you guys about that water from the beginning, because that's the only thing that I could really think about at this point is that water. And it was coming out of her when I was doing CPR.
And when he leaves?
Like I said, when he left, I went right back to sleep.
Okay.
So
did you see her at that time?
No, I didn't get up until a few hours later.
No, you were awake, but you didn't get up out of bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was up, but I didn't get up.
Did you say?
Yeah, because I was, matter of fact, I'm lying. I did get up. I had to lock the door.
Oh, you locked the door, yeah?
Yes, I did. I forgot because I just heard it was a serial killer on the news. How ironic is that? So I ended up on my baby, I'm just going to lock this door because it's crazy out here. But I didn't really acknowledge her. I just went back to the room. Okay. That's why I'm not remembering that, I did get up at that point in time, but I didn't check on her until I woke up later on.
Okay.
And then, I realized she was different than normal. And then I just still brushed it off because, like I said, the way she was looking, I really thought she was possibly just laying there. And then I realized, like I said, she's not getting up. Okay, let me go check on her again, make sure everything all right. And then I realized, okay, something's wrong. Like I said, that's when she had to spit on her pillow. And then that's what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm missing the stuff that matters. And then that's when I realized, okay, she's a little cold. Let me turn the heater on. Then I called her dad, like, okay, something's not right. And then I called 911, which I probably should have called 911 first and then her dad. But I just wanted him to know, okay, you're going to have to go to the hospital because once I get on the phone with the ambulance, I'm not going to be able to call you. And that's pretty much how it was.
A few days ago, Richard told us about an incident that happened a few days ago.
What happened a few days ago?
With you have a girlfriend named Deshanae, and was she over there visiting you guys at your place with her kids?
Yeah.
Do you remember something happening that day?
That might have been the day me and her left. So I'm not like, I don't know. We be kind of busy sometimes too. So it's just like my sister hasn't really been over there. I mean, like it probably was the other day, but I don't really remember exactly what day it was because it was like right before we got the little girls. So it was the other day, but I don't remember. You know.
Is Deshanae your sister, or she's a friend?
She's my friend. But
what's her last name?
Johnson. What did he say happened with her?
Well, I don't want to tell you what he said. I want to see if you were. So I want to see if you were there. If you remember an incident that happened.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I was there because I know it's always something like that.
Did he tell you about an incident?
I'm not sure. Like that's what I can't guarantee because I know for a fact she ended up headbutting with my niece. I don't know for sure exactly, what it could possibly be that he's talking about.
Did he tell you that something happened?
It's always something happening.
It's something that you would go, oh. When I say something happened, I mean it's something that's serious that you would go, oh, okay, that's what happened. Or she would have gotten a whooping.
Oh, where she got a whooping? Mm-hmm. Was it she was kissing the girls on the mouth or something?
Nope.
Oh, then I don't know. I don't know for sure.
So were you there when that happened? Did you see that?
When she was kissing the girls on the mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Did I see that happen? I was there that day. I don't think he was there. That's what I'm saying. I don't know because there's always something going on. We always have kids at the house. Like this is not nothing new for us to have kids around, My nieces are always over. We are babysitting. We were supposed to babysit today. So it's like, it's not really anything new that we're always having kids around, especially little girls. So it's like,
did he tell you that he had to spank her with a belt?
He don't run his stuff by me. Not really. He don't run his.
So you don't have, that's just not something come in conversation. Hey, by the way, I had to spank her today for blah, blah, blah.
If I had to whip her, I want to run that by him. Mm-hmm. But if he had to whip his daughter, he doesn't have to run that by me. I just told you what she got into, with the most recent thing that she did. So it's just like, I don't know what that could have possibly been. And it's been a few days since my nieces have been over or my sister's been over. So I don't really recall too much.
Okay. This case is going to be solved medically. Not me. I'm not a doctor. I don't do that. But when I'm at the autopsy tomorrow, I'm going to know everything that's wrong with Janila.
No, yeah.
I know everything.
That. And that's what I'm saying. The only thing I can think of at this point that could have possibly happened was that water. And like I said, when I was pumping her,
the only two people that have had contact with that baby
is me and her.
Is you and him.
Right.
So somebody ain't telling me the story.
No.
Somebody's not telling me the truth. Babies don't get full of water all on themselves.
I told you what she was doing.
So not from that. Well, that was at 7, 8 o'clock. This is 10 hours later. She's not still full of water. It's not. It didn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she was drinking it. I feel like she was breathing it in.
I know, but then she would have expired while she was taking a bath. She can't be full of water 10 hours later while you're giving her CPR. That's impossible. I'm gonna know more tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I want you to be prepared for me tomorrow.
Okay. I didn't do anything to her. I'm telling you, I put her in the tub and she was laying there. She was laying in the tub. It wasn't like for when I give her baths too much for me to possibly have done something like putting her under the water or something like that.
Did she accidentally drown in the water last night? And
I'm not sure because at a certain point in time, I did walk off.
Well, what I'm saying, last night before bed, and she's in the bathtub. Did she drown while she was in the bathtub? And you're scared to tell us that she drowned, and that's how this other story came up with checking on her throughout the night, and then you finally call for paramedics in the morning. Obviously, that you have to call somebody and report that your child has passed away. So, with the water coming up after, honestly, it makes me believe that maybe she had drowned.
I would not have waited that long to say something because I would have felt like there was possibly a chance that somebody could have saved her. Now, if anything, maybe my time frames are wrong, but other than that, I'm literally telling you that's what that was. Like I said, maybe my time is off.
I hear it fucking up. Hold on, now skip it back a little bit and ramble into the thing. Okay, it looks like it should be ready to go. Let's try it.
And maybe, the night was a little later, but other than that, no, I'm literally telling you that's what happened. I didn't.
So when she was done with her bath, she was fine. She got dressed. You put her to bed, gave her a kiss on the cheek goodnight, and you and Richard went to bed. But she got out of the bathtub. You dressed her. Mm-hmm. She went and laid down on the couch, went to bed.
Yes.
Okay. She didn't drown in the bathtub. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. But not that I know of.
Not that you know of. Well, I mean, you would know. You were there. You know the difference between drowning in a bathtub and not drowning in a bathtub, right?
I mean, I guess so, but I don't think.
If a child drowns in a bathtub, they're dead. They're dead in the bathtub.
Well, I think I would have had more knowledge of why the water was coming out of her like that.
Did you find her dead in the bathtub earlier?
No.
If you're telling me that she had water coming out of her while you were giving her CPR, that makes sense. This is the time to tell me the truth.
There was water coming out of her. But I wouldn't wait hours to call for help. I'm not making no vote.
Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened to this little girl.
I am.
You can do it. You're strong enough. You are. I believe in you. But you got to tell me the truth. You got to tell me what happened to her. She deserves that.
I told you she was laying there. She was laying in the tub, first of all. Why? Just saying, would that even be believable if I pumped the water out of her already? You can't see water in your lungs if it's already pumped out of her.
During the autopsy, if she drowned, there will be medical signs that will tell us that she drowned. We'll be able to know that tomorrow.
There was water coming out of her.
I believe you.
Can we discuss this tomorrow? Please.
You should tell us now. It's best if you tell me now what happened. I want to know what happened to this little girl.
I'm not trying to go to jail for something I didn't do, that nobody did.
Tell us what happened. Tell us when you found her.
What?
When did she drown?
I don't know for sure if she drowned or not. I thought she was just laying there. I don't want to go to jail for something I didn't do.
There was 2 people in the apartment.
Her dad was not there. He didn't do that. Nobody purposely harmed her like that.
Then tell me how it was.
I really can't. I do completely understand that, and I'm giving you the truth. I just don't.
You were her. She thought of you as. She called you mama.
I know all that. That's not really. That wasn't purpose or want to know. I'm not going to go to jail for something that.
Explain what happened to me. Tell me how.
Y'all know the drill. When it start cutting up, I'ma just pause it for a second until it act right and things of that nature. It should be back okay now. All right, I'm done rambling.
You were a mother to her. She thought of you as her mama. She called you mama.
I know all that. That's not really going to help. I want to know that I'm not going to go to jail for something that wasn't done purposefully or something that I didn't do, something that he didn't do. Neither one of us sat there and hurt her like that on purpose or ever tried to.
But Shavion, you won't tell me what happened.
I just want to know I'm not going to go to jail for something that.
Explain what happened to me. Tell me how it was an accident. You're strong enough. You can do this. You love that little girl. I know you do. Tell me the story so it makes sense. Please.
I don't know what happened. Like I said, she got into the scuffle, and I ended up putting her to the tub. I don't know exactly what time. The water was just running, and I wasn't paying attention.
And what time was this?
I don't know what time it was.
Was it? You think it was nighttime?
It was nighttime.
Was Richard there?
No.
How long was she in the bathtub for?
She wasn't in there that long.
Did you start the water for her, or did she start her own water?
I turned the water on.
Okay.
I filled it up, and then I walked off.
Did you turn the water off?
I didn't turn it off yet.
Did she turn it off?
No.
When you went back into the bathroom, was the water running?
I ended up turning it off.
Okay.
Then I walked off, and I came back, and like I said, she was laying in the tub. I got her out, and I tried my best.
When she was in the tub, was she face down or was she face up?
I don't know, because like I said, she was laying in the tub at first, and she was laying there like, on her back and stuff, just waiting on the water to fill up. I don't know what happened after that. I just grabbed her out the tub, and that's where I think that mark came from on her stomach from me trying to get her out the tub, and she was like laying over the tub. Because like I said, that mark and stuff on her stomach was not there. I don't know where that came from. I don't know even know if that sounds realistic or not, but that wasn't on her. Nobody, like, even when you're saying like the bruises, nobody don't beat on her like that.
Okay. So
you can ask my sister. She was living with us for a couple months. I don't even whoop Janai.
So when you pulled her out of the tub, was she breathing?
I thought she was. I really didn't.
No, that's why beat on her like that. Either you beat on her or you don't.
Like I don't know if I'm like.
She got up and she got dressed.
No, I'm saying like I got her dressed, but
you dressed her.
Yeah, I always dress her. It's just I don't know. I just thought she was gonna be okay. I thought she was gonna be fine. I didn't know that something was wrong. I would have called sooner. I would not have let her sit there like that. I feel horrible. I have to go talk to her dad, and I still haven't seen him. He left the house with her, understandably alive, as he thought, as we all thought. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like she was fine. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Is it possible that when you pulled her out of the tub, that she had already passed away? Was she dead when you pulled her out of that water?
I don't know.
Did she?
I just want her to be okay.
Did you put a blanket over her?
I dried her off, and I put her clothes on her, and I laid her down because I thought she was just tired. I hope to go to bed.
Did something happen before the bath where you might have been upset with her? Anything like that?
No.
Did you tell Richard about what happened in the bathtub?
I didn't talk to him until I thought she was fine.
How long was she in the bathtub alone?
I always leave her in the tub alone.
How long do you think?
Like 30 minutes. Not even that long. I can't calculate time. I cannot. Time is just not my friend.
So she was on her stomach, but her head was to the side.
Yeah.
Was she floating on top of the water, or was she under the
She
water?
was on the water, and then I don't know.
Would you be able to show us?
Did you try to do CPR when you got her out of the tub? You did. Okay. Did water come out when you did CPR?
And then I called her dad, and then I called my mom.
I meant after you pulled it. So was the bath this morning, not last night? Because you said she took a bath last night and she was floating in the water last night. So when you pulled her out of the tub last night before you dressed her and put her on the couch, did you do CPR then? Did you try and revive her?
No. I did it.
You just got her dressed and put her on the couch?
I could have saved her. I really thought she was fine. She's kind of dramatic sometimes. So I thought she was just playing along or something. I didn't know. That's why I tell her all the time, stop being so dramatic, because when somebody really needs to know what's going on, they're not going to know.
There was no way for her to tell you what was going on because she had already passed away. She couldn't tell you.
No, maybe not. Maybe she didn't. Like I said, my time is off. My time is off for when the timing was. I don't know what time it was. All I know was just dark outside.
Weren't you concerned that when you had to pull her from the tub? I mean, she must have been just limp. She must have been just lifeless.
Like I said, my time is on. I wasn't made for that long.
How come you didn't call for help?
I did.
Last night after the tub, you didn't.
She got.
I know you did this morning. How come you waited so long?
She got a bath this morning.
She got a bath this morning. After he had already left. Okay.
So what can I tell him?
Okay, that makes sense. That's better.
No.
What happened during the bath?
I don't know. Like I said, she was just laying down, chilling, and then all of a sudden I come back, and it's just like everything is just wrong. So when I got her out, I laid her down for a second because I don't know. I just thought she was kidding. I really thought she was kidding with me. I really did, because she's just that type of kid. Like, she play and she do goofy stuff like that. So I really thought she was kidding with me for a second. And that's where I messed up at, thinking that it was a joke, thinking that she was just playing. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't mean for that to happen. And I don't want to go to jail.
So now that the day's a little more clear, the timeline is better because the bath was this morning, not last night. Because he told us she didn't get a bath last night, so we already knew that. Well, what time did you put her in the tub this morning? Was it after he left?
This was a little bit after he left.
Okay.
Because I ended up getting up to lock the door. She was already up. So I was like, when are going to get ready? Because we were supposed to be packing to move today. And I just wanted to get certain things out the way like that. She'll be dressed and ready for today. And it just went sour.
When you say it went sour, what do you mean?
She's not here anymore. That's what I mean. She's not here anymore. She's not. That's my fault. So what's going to happen to me now?
I don't know. We got to talk about it more.
But you know what? It's a lot more helpful now that we know the truth.
Does it make sense?
It does. We were thinking a lot more stuff. I mean, we were thinking you were a monster. We're thinking you had an accident or something happened.
It was an accident.
Absolutely. Sounds like it to me.
Did you put her in the bathtub this morning and run the water for her?
Mm-hmm. But she was already laying down when I was running the water. Like, before you even get the water in there, she was already laying down.
Laying on her stomach or her back?
No, she was laying on her back, just chilling, waiting on the tub to fill up. That's what I said.
But she was awake.
She was wide awake. Then just out of nowhere, she's on her stomach and her head's on her side. And I'm like, what the fuck?
So that's when you took her out of the tub?
Yeah.
Was she breathing?
I didn't know. I thought she was still playing. And she was tricking me. I really did.
Okay.
I thought she was tricking me this whole time. I thought she was breathing. I did. I really did.
So did you take her out of the tub? Did you drain the water?
Yes.
And then once you took her out of the tub, what did you do?
I thought she was just playing. I got her dressed and I laid her back down.
I'm just amazed how she don't give a fuck that she didn't change her story from she took a bath last night to she took a bath at 5 or 6 something in the morning when after her dad had left. Cause she checked on her at 4. The dad had left at 5. Then she said she checked on her again, but now miraculously she took a bath this morning. But I don't know the times though. And then she called him in for this, but Is this the one she called him in for when he said the water was coming out of her mouth?
Because I thought she was just tired. That might sound crazy, but I haven't ever lived through nothing like that before. And with the type of kid we have, I'm just thinking it's all fun and games. So I'm like, okay, Janai, it's not funny no more. You need to go and get up. And she's still not saying nothing to me. So I'm like going in her mouth trying to see if she needs oxygen or something. Like I was just playing at that point. I wasn't even taking it seriously. So I'm just like, okay, if you don't need me doing this, then let me know. And she's still not saying nothing. So I'm just like, what the heck is going on? And that's when I was like, okay, no. I had to call her dad, like, Janai's not breathing. And then that's when he was like, okay, hurry up and call the hospital.
So when you had taken her out of the tub and you thought she was playing, because she was unresponsive.
Yeah.
She was limp, I'm guessing. And then did you start to give her breaths, you're saying? Yes? Okay, because you're nodding yes. And then you thought she was playing.
Yes, I still thought she was playing.
How much time went by until you called Richard from the time you said, because you said you were breathing in her mouth?
After I thought she was playing, because I couldn't breathe, when I was trying to blow the air in her mouth, I couldn't really blow it in. It was almost like she was closing her mouth. So it was almost like I couldn't even blow the air in her mouth. So I'm just like, okay, you playing. I'm going to just leave you alone. I covered her back up. But when I came back, she had that look on her face. And I'm just like, something's wrong. You're not changing. You're not blinking. You're not responding to me at all. Like at some point in time, Mommy, I'm just kidding. Something would change. And it's just like at no point in time, I went in the room and everything. Nothing changed. And at that point, I'm just like, okay, no, something's wrong. And I waited too long.
How much time do you think went by?
I don't know.
And that's when you called Richard? And then he told you to call for help?
I didn't even stay on the phone with him for a minute.
Okay. And then you called us?
Yes.
Okay. And then did you do CPR again with the operator?
Yes.
Okay.
You should have just said that for me to begin.
Is there anything else we need to know about? Did she slip? Did she hit her head?
That's what I was thinking. Like, I've been trying to figure that out this whole time. Because she had possibly slipped and hit her head in the tub. Like, how could I miss that?
You said she was laying down when you put her in.
Exactly. So that idea went out the window. I don't know what happened.
Operator, this is Detective Conover. Same person as present. We're going to stop for now. Time is 14:07.
As you can see, within the short space of time between Chevion's first and second interviews, the timeline she initially gave police has been completely disrupted. And I think the important question there is why. We could spend a lot of time playing spot the difference and create a whole new timeline based on her second interview. But I think the main point of contrast is the fact that Chevion now is claiming Jania's bath happened on the early morning of September 11th, not the night before, sometime just before 911 was called. And this certainly changes the dynamic. She further claims that Jania wasn't responsive and acting normal after the bath, stating that she thought Jania was just playing around or being dramatic. Jania's body was in fact loose or limp when she was carried out of the tub. She was also laid over the tub, something Chevion didn't mention in her first interview. In fact, Chevion's first interview paints the picture that Jania was responsive, active, and totally coherent, at least in the bath and shortly after getting out of it. But the child's condition must have been bad enough to cause some concern because Chevion proceeded to blow breaths into Jania's mouth before she called 911. Yet after this and dressing her, Chevion left Jania on the couch and went back to bed. When she finally checks on the child again, 911 is called. This is where Chevion adds that water was coming out of Jania's mouth as she performed CPR on the girl, while under the instruction of the emergency dispatcher. Now tell me at what point in this new timeline would you have called for help? And if someone going through this experience didn't call for help, what might be their reasons? There's so much conflicting information in Chevion's first two interviews. There's so much obvious deception in that one single word. Why? Why lie? Well, there's still so much more to talk about. A short while after Chevion's second interview concludes, police decide to take Chevion back to the apartment and have her do a video reenactment of what happened earlier that morning prior to the 911 call. They, much like you and I, are having trouble following her summary of events.
This is Detective Conover, P number 8388. This will be one video reenactment. Today's date, or the event number, I'm sorry, is 1909000503332. Today's date is September 11th, 2019. The time is 17:26 hours. Also present is Detective Hernandez, P number
7567.
And also we have Chevion Miller, and that's SHEVHUAN. Miller is common spelling. And Chevion's date of birth is 7/4/96. The location where we are is 40 Highway, Building N like Nora, apartment 1161, Las Vegas, Nevada 89121. We are here related to a child death. And Chevion, if you could, now you know this is all voluntary. You don't have to participate. Do you agree to go ahead and move forward with us to help us understand what happened today? Yes? Can you verbally say, okay, there we go. Angela, what I'd like to do is I'd like you to take the doll into the bathroom and show me when you gave the bath this morning. Started the water. So she was
It's the get up they got her wearing for me. Hold on. Yeah, okay. It should be fixed right about now. Okay, let's see here.
So she was laying on her back.
Yes.
With her head towards the top of the tub, I'll call it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then did you turn the water on for her?
Yeah, I had already got this in the tub.
Okay, so you put the plug in.
Inside. You leave over here.
Okay.
I took over. The water was running. I left the room, started smoking a cigarette, came back, and she was like this.
Okay, so she was face down in the tub at this time with her head turned to her right side.
Yeah.
Okay. How full was the bathtub?
Well, you see this?
That ring right there?
Yeah.
So it was a full tub.
Yeah.
Was the water still running?
I think might have turned it off already. I don't recall that part.
Okay. Do you remember if you turned it off when you came in and saw her like that, or you turned it off prior to?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay. You saw her like that. What did you?
I used brush her up.
Okay.
I was like, I think I sent her right here. Second.
Set her on. Did you have to hold her?
No. That's why I thought she was just fine. So when I got her out and she was just, kind of looser than normal, I'm just like, she's just kidding or something maybe. And
Would you describe her as being limp?
like I said, she was looser than normal, yes. But like I said, since I didn't have to hold her up here, I didn't really think too much of it right then and there. And like I said, I really didn't think much of it at all until I came back to check on her and she was just not responding.
Did you say anything to her when she was in the tub or when you got her out? Did you talk to her?
I think that's what I was telling you. I was like, Janai, quit playing. And then
Did she respond?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say yeah, I'm not gonna say no. Because it's like I kind of feel like I'm just throwing that at her too. Like I don't.
For her eyes open or closed?
Her eyes were open.
No, when we talked to you last week, you said for some breaths. You actually breathed into her mouth.
Yeah, and I thought she was just playing. That's when I actually got her dressed and stuff on the couch. She was just playing, so I had like.
Where was it? Show sound. She was not this way.
Yeah, I'm back to ramble for a few seconds. All right, we should be good.
Show sound that went out.
So she's already dressed and stuff like that, and she's here on the couch.
Wait, you got away? She was in that way?
Yeah.
Not this way?
No.
Okay.
Hold on, you got her out and got her dressed.
Yeah.
Can you go through the process? Okay. So you got her out of the tub.
Yeah. Got her out the tub. I normally carry her out. Okay, laid her right here. Put her clothes on her.
Okay.
So at this point, like I said, I'm still thinking she's just joking around and stuff. So I'm like, okay, you need to stop playing. So I put her up here. Then I walk off because like thinking like I'm like, and I come back on her when I kind of still jokingly was, you're like, oh, you in position that she was in or something, but I felt like she was blocking me. So I'm like, oh, you don't need no breaths. Like you're playing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking she's still playing. But when I realized she still had that same look on her face, I'm just like, okay, something's wrong.
How many breaths do you think you gave her?
At that point in time, like I said, I wasn't really getting too serious. So it's probably like 2 or 3.
Okay.
Nothing serious.
Did she react? Did she say anything to you?
No. She just, it kind of seemed like she was just spitting out something. Like she was just.
What did you dress her in?
The clothes that she had on, the leggings with the, I don't know exactly what I'm sure, but I was a t-shirt. Wearing pajama bottoms with legging pants.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I can't automatic.
Okay.
And I realized she wasn't responding. I called the ambulance. And they told her. And then they told me to properly position her and then perform CPR as I gave her the breaths, and then they come in with me through the process.
Did any fluid come out of her mouth when you were giving her CPR?
Yes, that's what I was telling you before, but that was 2 different instances. That's because like I said, I was out here at the bus, and like I said, actually before, when I'm like, on the phone with you guys, like when I'm trying to call her dad, like, okay, something's wrong. That point where I was instructed to do it.
So not just you gave her,
Yeah.
you also did Jessica.
Yes, I did. But like I said, once I realized, it was serious, I actually, cuffed her nose, blew in her mouth. I mean, I probably wasn't doing it right, but liquid was coming out. So at that point, I'm really concerned. And when I walked off and came back, she was like spitting out or something. I'm not really sure what was going on, if it was her or if it was just the reaction, but it was something was like mucus was coming out.
That she was on the couch.
And she was on the couch, yeah. And when I walked off and I came back, her head was actually like this, like to the side. But she was like straight up and down at first. And then when I walked off and came back, she was like to the side, so it was like falling up the side. And I'm like, okay, no. And that's when I called CPR. They told me to get her on the floor and to do it that way.
How was her body to the touch?
Her body was warm. Her hands were cold.
And was
her hands are normally cold.
Was the water warm?
Yes, the tub water was warm. Her hands and feet are normally cold once she get out of stuff. So at first, that's what I'm saying. A lot of signs of it really made me feel like it was just her playing alone. Just her normal. She get off the tub, she's wet. Her hands and feet are cold. She don't have socks on. Her hands and feet get cold. So like I said, her body was warm to the touch, but her hands were cold. And
was she breathing when she got out of the tub?
That I didn't really check for because I was not really sure at the moment that anything was wrong.
How was her head? Did her head bobble like she was asleep? Or
when I picked her up at the tub, that's what I'm saying. I really didn't pay attention. Like I said, normally I get her out, come in here, get dressed, whatever kids may be. And then I place her on the floor. So I didn't really.
You had to dress her, right? She didn't dress herself.
Yeah, no, she didn't dress herself. I normally help her to dress her, but that time it was me dressing her.
Because she couldn't dress herself at that time.
Yeah. No.
So we have the positioning, we know the clothes, we know you called 911.
You said you walked off. What do you mean you walked off? You said you did some breasts and you walked off. Did you walk to the bathroom? Did you walk to the
No, I walked in the room.
Okay.
You talking about when I was like, well, I thought she was just.
Yeah.
No, I had walked in the room real quick because I
Okay.
had a cigarette.
Just over there.
Yeah, that's right here.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure, she was still okay because she just looked offish. Like she seemed like she was playing because she looked like she was just staring at me. But in a sense, she just seemed off.
Okay. Now we know that you called for help a little after 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, it was 7.
Okay.
Who'd you call first?
I called.
Have a log of the call.
If you have the phone, you can go through the call list and they'll show the 911 time.
Okay. And then we showed up at the hospital.
But once I realized, okay, I was upset that I even waited that long. And as you can see, that probably simply caused the situation to progress the way it did. Because she could have probably been saved if I would have noticed that from the beginning something was wrong. But I'm really thinking she was just playing.
Okay. So come in here and I want to show you something. So I remember I told you that a lot of our investigation is scientific.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that we do.
Yeah.
Now, when we saw Janila on her face, on her abdomen, on her arms, on her legs, she was bruised and cut up. But not a lot of cuts, but a lot of bruises.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice any of that? Now, because you had put her in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And you had taken her out of the bathtub, and you had dressed her.
Mm-hmm.
The bruises were very obvious to us. Did you notice that extensive bruising
No.
when she was in the tub?
As you can see, the right in the ear is nowhere near as far as it is anywhere else. But nonetheless, in light, you can see. I told you like the face and stuff. Yes, I get to see that. But as far and then like I said, the one on I don't even know where that came from. I literally just saw that. But the arms and stuff like that, I don't know about anything else other than the face and then that mark right there.
But she wasn't bleeding when she came in here. She didn't have any cuts.
So you remember I did tell you that she her mouth was red, like she was bleeding, and then she was like spitting out blood from the other day when because I give her a bath all the time.
But was she spitting out the blood from the prior day?
Huh?
Or was that this morning?
No, that was the part.
From yes, okay. So one of the things we do is, and like I said, it's scientific, and we test for blood.
Yeah.
I can tell you, come on over here. You see the blue here by the
Yeah.
tub edge, and you see the blue inside the tub. That's blood residue. That tells us she's in the bathtub, and then on the bed here, and on the tub here, where you said that you leaned her over. There's blood on the floor.
No.
And there's blood in. Well, it's science.
It will be blood right here too if they drill to. That's what I'm saying. First off, it did not none of that, and you can come and retest all this if you need to. But it will be dripping off the tub if she would have been hanging over. That did not happen.
Well, if she was over far enough, it would have either gone on the towel.
It was.
It was lying on the floor.
It was.
Oh, there was blood on the towel.
It was mixed in with water, and I cleaned up the mess from and it was just sitting there.
So how does the blood get in the tub?
Because the tub probably wasn't properly laid out.
From
The last time she had a bathroom when the incident first happened, from when she came in and all.
you're saying that this blood that's in the tub here was from a day before.
Yes, because I read this water more than one time. So it's like the fact that that's still in there, that's really surprising. That means I don't do a good job. I didn't clean it out, to be honest.
Okay.
But you can see it's a ring around the tub.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's pretty dirty. I'm not
So you're saying that blood is from
that's
the
old.
altercation from the day before?
Yes, because I'm telling you, if she was over here dripping blood, first of all, she wouldn't have been sitting here like, and this would be blood.
A lot of blood.
It was.
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, that wasn't. That looks like a lot of blood to me as well, and that's a lot of bleeding. All of that, that's a lot.
And have you cut yourself in the tub? Any bleeding from you in the tub?
I bled. I cut my hands.
Okay.
Yeah, I bled plenty of times. Like
So when you bathed Janila yesterday after the altercation, Janila, I'm sorry, she had blood in her mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, and she washed out in the tub or in the sink?
No, she washed out the tub. I had immediate fire.
Okay, because we have blood on the sink as well.
Well, you know, I told you I cleaned her off with some tissue as well. So I don't know exactly.
Is this the tissue here that you cleaned her with?
Probably not, because it would be red new. But yeah, I don't know where this. I don't. Did you guys already get it up?
Yeah, we already did.
Yeah.
So, and this is for the ID guys are gonna process it. So they're and we took your swab, right? They took your swab already. So we're gonna know your DNA, your blood, their blood, your boyfriend's blood. Is that pretty much gonna be her blood, or is that some of your blood, or?
It could be a mixture of any.
Okay.
But that towel was been sitting there, so it's like that could have been old already. You know what I'm saying?
Like old blood?
That's what I said. That tub wasn't cleaned out right.
Okay.
Because the fact that it looks like that, it didn't look like that when I put her in it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I would have seen the bloody tub with her in it. It didn't look like that, and I think it would have been probably, I don't know.
Okay.
That's really. I mean, you guys are doing what you got to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're gonna analyze all that stuff, and
of course.
that science stuff. Again, we got the doctor tomorrow, so we'll come talk to you guys afterwards.
Please.
All right, this concludes the interview. Same person present. The time is 17:41.
Chevion Miller is allowed to leave that day, and she returns to the apartment with Richard interrogation style. We'll come back to that in a moment. But Jania's father, Richard Davis, was also interviewed about Jania's death. There's no available audio or video from his interview, but I have the transcripts, which Las Vegas Metro Police charged me $600 for, and some of the information divulged in them is hair-raising, especially when combined with some of the other information I've gathered. If you recall, some of the observed damage to Jania's body was found on her bottom, specifically in the form of bruises, and these contusions were fresh. Because Chevion mentioned that Richard hits Jania with a belt sometimes as a form of discipline, when the detective spoke to him, they decided to go further into detail with Richard about his parenting methods, and this is where some seriously alarming information was leaked. When questioned, Richard claims the last Sunday, the 8th of September. He stated that the reason was because Jania had a tendency to remove the diaper or clothing off the two little kids that he and Chevion babysit and do something he described as really strange or really bad. The transcripts are censored, so the exact details are unknown. But these two little girls were not the same two little girls that he was watching for his ex-coworker, Liz. In fact, these children were the ones that Chevion described in her interviews as her nieces. Richard referred to them in the same manner before clarifying that they weren't actually related to him or Chevion, but rather belonged to a long-term friend of Chevion's who lived with them for a little while, up until Johnson, as she's later named in court documents. According to Richard, it was Dejanay that caught Jania doing the really bad aforementioned stuff to her children, and she informed him about it. He claims he had to discipline Jania for that because it wasn't stuff she should be doing. One detective asks him, so she took off the baby's diaper and was blank? Again, I can only speculate about the censored information based on further context. Regardless, Richard answered yes, and then was asked, does she blank her own to girls? He doesn't even like it if he has him uncomfortable. At one point, Richard is asked, are you implying that at 5 she blank? Again, censored information, so we'll have to guess what's being said based on further context. Richard answers saying that couldn't be possible at Jania's age. He's also asked if Jania ever mentioned being sexually assaulted to him. He said no, but she always seemed like she wanted to tell him something. Jania also had trouble sleeping at night and would frequently wake up in what Richard described as a real deep sweat, not like a normal sweat. He did mention, however, that he knew she went through some stuff with her biological mother when she was younger, but that stuff was never elaborated on. As far as I know, and from what I can gather, there aren't any allegations of sexual misconduct at the hands of Jania's birth mom. Regardless, Jania was beaten by Richard with a belt for what she did to Dejanay's youngest child. By his own admission, she was struck 20 times. Had done, in his words, was very, very bad. He even recalled seeing visible damage begin to form on her bottom while in the process of beating her. So much so that it caused him to stop and realize it was a little too much before making her go and stand in the corner for 30 minutes. He was also asked if he may have missed her buttocks with the belt and hit her legs, and he said possibly. Now, cops described bruising to one of her legs as so severe that it went down to the bone. It literally affected all of her leg tissue. If the bruising on her leg was caused by this spanking before she was made stand in a corner for 30 minutes, I can only imagine how much pain and fear this little girl was going through. And Richard claims he didn't use a belt on her often, but the belt that he used had no clasp or buckle. This was clearly a belt that was kept for one purpose.
That nigga and her need they ass whoop. Now here it is, his gay ass whooping his baby to the point blisters and shit is happening. Why he doing it? Do you know how long you have to whoop a motherfucker for shit like that to happen? At 5. And that wasn't enough. He said he realized he may have been doing too much and said, go stand your ass in a corner for 30 minutes after I done blistered your ass. They both need their ass whooped.
It was used to harm someone who seemed to be already dealing with the most horrible trauma imaginable. Trauma a 5-year-old girl should never have to face. If you ask me, this child needed help long before she was murdered. And in my opinion, she was crying out for that help. Cries that it seems to me were met with a belt. So regardless of who you think killed Janiyah by the end of this, I want you to remember what her father definitely did. Remember what he did instead of actually going and getting her help. He should have got her professional help, but instead, he tried to beat it out of her. That's a fact. How else can you describe the details that you just heard? But it might be important at this point to clarify just how Janiyah ended up in the custody of Richard Davis. About a year prior to Janiyah's death, Janiyah's mother called social services on herself in Arapahoe County, Colorado, and basically admitted to being unfit to or unwilling to raise Janiyah. The child ended up in foster care at this time for a while formed. Understanding is that Richard flew out to Arapahoe County during this visit. She told this to multiple people in Colorado, but nothing was done about the allegations. Social services were apparently set to step in again, but instead, Richard offered to take Janiyah back to Las Vegas and assume full custody of her. Janiyah's mother agreed to the decision, and that's how the child ended up with her father. And if you think about it, this actually lines up with what Janiyah said while sitting on her grandmother's lap in the clip I showed earlier. At the time, Tirza was under the impression that Janiyah was saying, if my daddy's mean to me or if he touches me. But based on what we know now about the allegations in Colorado, I believe she was trying to say something else. Let's watch that clip again with this new context.
You gonna have fun with your daddy?
Yeah.
That's good. You can call Grammy anytime, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna give your daddy my phone number. Because I love you.
I'm going to talk to my mommy, and then I'm talking to my mommy when he's being mean to me.
Okay. That'll be interesting.
That's why mommy tell me I can don't my dad touch me, and then he's still touching me.
No, hopefully
at the house.
We won't be doing all of that, okay? And you just have a great time with your daddy, okay?
Okay.
You tell me in the comments what you think Janiyah meant in that clip. We should also remember that a sperm sample was found on Janiyah's body, a sperm fraction was found inside her body, and there were micro tears to her private area. At this point in the investigation, those samples are still being tested. We'll be coming back to all this. This is far from over, and there's more that will tie in later. The day after Janiyah's death, Chevion is picked up by police, taken to the station, arrested for the murder of Janiyah, and formally interrogated on video. The first thing to note before this plays is that when Chevion is picked up, she has visible signs of injury on her body that were not there the day before. Not only were there marks on her wrists indicating potential self-harm, but she had what looked like 2 ligature marks around her neck as if something had been wrapped around it twice. Now remember, Chevion went home to Richard that previous night, yet it doesn't appear as though a call to emergency services on Chevion's behalf ever occurred. So put yourself in Richard Davis's shoes. Your 5-year-old daughter's suspicious death occurred mere hours ago. The only person with her at the time of her death was your girlfriend, and her story has changed over and over. Then later that night, while at home with you, your girlfriend attempts to harm herself. What is the first thing you would do? Would you call someone immediately, or would you do nothing other than simply wait for the authorities to pick up your girlfriend the following day? I can hazard a guess as to what most completely innocent people would do. Regardless, this is Chevion's final statement.
That bitch would have been dead. But then he ain't shit neither.
You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that.
I'm just gonna wait. Go ahead.
I said you can't be doing that. Somebody she'll be dead. No, you can't do that.
I know she would be. Hell no. I'm just saying if he gave a damn, this bitch would be dead, but he didn't. Like I heard dude say that they had found sperm samples on her. Women don't have sperm. Women do not. He didn't give a fuck because he ain't no telling that he was gay too. He was I hope this motherfucker in jail too. I'm just gonna wait till he get to that part. But I heard him say it though. Sick son of a bitch.
Now, you remember yesterday I told you this was going to be kind of a scientific investigation. You know, we're detectives, and we've done this for a long time. And we know things when we see things. We're smart guys. We are. And I told you that the doctor is going to tell us what happened to this little girl. He's going to tell us what happened to this little girl. And Detective Fernandez was at the autopsy today. And I'm going to tell you right now, the injuries to that little girl are so severe, you got to explain it to me.
Can you explain to me what her injuries were, please? Because I really don't know much.
I can't explain the injuries.
Please.
She has bruising both eyes, to the sides of both face. Her mouth is cut open. She has bruising on the tops of her arms, on the back of her arms, both arms. She has bruising on the tops of her legs, on the bottom of her legs. She has bruising to her abdomen. She has bruises that are so deep that it goes to the bone. What? When you and I walk into a door and we get a little bruise up here, we get a little bit of a burst blood vessel up here, and that's what causes a bruise. Her bruising is so deep that the blood goes all the way to her bone. What about it? 100%. It's not a question.
She was
we
alive.
know that's what happened.
She was alive, but she let it tell you.
Yeah, I believe you. I want her to probably was alive. But she didn't get to that bathtub on her own, and she didn't make it out of that bathtub. Oh, she walked to the tub?
Yes,
okay.
She walked to the tub.
What happened on the way to the tub?
Nothing.
So?
She was in the tub the whole time.
Minutes. The injury she sustained to her abdomen, minutes.
Minutes? What do you mean minutes?
She had minutes to live.
What do you mean?
I don't know how else to explain it. She had an injury that would have killed her within minutes.
I'm confused right now.
There's nothing to confuse. She has an injury that was sustained that would have killed her within minutes.
No.
She didn't live longer than a few minutes.
No.
I'm telling you right now, this is what shows
you. She was up in the tub. And I said she got in the tub. She was laying down. So when I seen her laying down, I was just like,
what happened in the tub?
What can possibly? I don't know. I walked off. And that's the most that had happened.
Jimmy.
What?
Jimmy, look at me. Look at me for a second. Hey. Shit.
Is this a joke?
This ain't a joke.
Are you serious right now?
That is not a joke. That is worse than a gunshot wound.
What is that?
Can you tell? It's a liver. That is not a joke. Minutes. Jimmy, I'm not lying to you. We are not lying. You got to tell me what happened.
I'm not making this up.
I know you're not making up, but you're not telling us what happened.
I'm literally telling you what I know.
You are the only one in the apartment with her. I'll be back.
I'm really confused right now. I don't even understand that. Like I said, even when I see the bruise on her, I don't even know where that came from. Or I would have told you, oh yeah, that's where. No, I don't know where that came from.
I do.
What?
I do.
Where did it come from?
It came from you.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It did not. I'm telling you, it didn't.
You don't. It's okay.
No, it's not. I'm not gonna. No, this is not okay.
You did it. And we know
no, I didn't.
And we know it.
What did I do?
But you have to explain to me why.
What did I do? If you know that I did that.
What did she do that was so bad?
What did I do? If you know I did that to her, how did I possibly do that?
You beat her to death.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I did not.
Those injuries that we saw, that type of injury comes from car crashes, from airplane crashes, and from people to fall from extreme heights off of the top of buildings.
No.
This isn't an accident.
No, she was alive when she got in the tub. This was not intentional. She was very well and alive.
Shavion.
I don't know what could have possibly happened. I did not beat her to death. I did not. I really didn't.
Well, there's only 2 people in that apartment.
I don't know how that possibly happened.
And Richard's one. That's it. And by the look of your neck and by the look of your wrists, that's somebody who feels guilty.
That I did not do
Why
enough.
would you try and hurt yourself?
I didn't do enough. I thought she was playing.
I think you did enough.
I didn't help her when she should have been helped.
That's right, because it's your job to protect her.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you lost your cool, if she did something
What?
that upset you.
Oh my gosh.
But this is the time to explain it. Because all
I cannot explain this.
Because the medical evidence is what it is.
Can I see the rest of the medical evidence, please?
No, oh, there'll be plenty of time for that.
No, it's not really time for that. No, I need to know. I need to know what else you guys, because this is really mind-blowing right now.
Her internal injuries were so beat up that she fled to death.
No.
Yes.
She had no plan to have blood coming out of her.
Inside her belly. Inside her belly.
No. No.
They took so much blood out of her belly. I have never seen that much blood.
This has to be a joke.
No. I trust you. But once you tell
Are
me
you
the truth, you'll
serious?
feel better. I promise you, you'll feel better.
I cannot feel better about something I didn't do.
You did it.
No, I didn't.
Stop.
I'm telling you, I did not.
The time for this is
No,
over.
no,
It is.
no.
You told me that Richard was gone. You told me he was gone, that he checked out. He was at the clinic. We know that the injury to her liver was so severe that she died within minutes of the injury. He wasn't in the apartment.
She was alive. She was alive. There's no reason she could have possibly died from an injury like that when she was alive. The whole time until I walked off.
Tell me what happened.
I walked off from her. That was it. Yes.
The time for sticking to this story is over. You can't fight evidence. We have medical evidence that shows how she died. This isn't a game. This isn't a joke. I'm not trying to.
She had water coming out of her.
I agree. She did have water coming out of her. That's not what killed her. What? She bled to death.
No, she didn't. I'm telling you, no. Janiyah was alive in the tub.
Tell me what happened.
No.
Please.
I didn't do anything.
Please explain to me why this beautiful little girl that just turned 5, she should be running around with pigtails in her hair. She should be swimming and playing with her friends. But unfortunately,
We were just doing all that stuff.
she can't do that anymore.
We were just doing all of that stuff with her. That doesn't add up.
She should be doing that.
I really don't know where that. No, I don't know where that came from. I do not know.
This is the time to tell me.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
You have to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you.
Please don't let this little girl's death go unjustified.
I'm telling
Please
you.
don't do that to her.
I'm telling
She
you.
doesn't deserve it. She's an innocent.
There is
beautiful
no
little
way.
girl.
I'm telling you, there's no way
Help me.
that she could have possibly. I told you, the most that I know of that hurt her, she got into a scuffle. I didn't even realize she had that bruise on her stomach until that day.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen. Look at me. Look at me. Hey, Shavion, look at me. The injury to her liver. She bled to death. It didn't happen at a scuffle out in the yard. It didn't happen from bumping her head on another kid's head.
There's no reason she could have possibly gotten an injury like that.
I know. There's only
nothing.
one way it happened.
There's no way. I'm telling you, there's no way she could have possibly gotten an injury like that. She was very well and alive and sitting up when I left the bathroom.
I see those injuries all the time.
No.
No, I do.
No.
I see children with lacerated livers
No.
all the time.
No.
I see children with lacerated small intestines. I see children with lacerated large intestines. I see children with lacerated hearts, with broken ribs, with their heads smashed.
No.
I see all that.
That wasn't her.
And it only happens from one thing.
That was not her.
Because someone close to them,
That
someone
wasn't
who
her.
loves them.
No, I'm telling you.
And I believe
that didn't
you loved
happen like that.
girl.
But it did not.
I do believe that you loved her. But I believe something happened to upset you.
No.
And I want to.
No.
And if it was an
No.
accident, you need to tell me that it was an accident.
No, it wasn't an accident. I don't know how that happened.
I do. She was beat to death.
You can't say it was by me.
You were the only one there.
I don't care who was there. It wasn't me.
Are you going to tell me that some ghost came in and did this? When there are only 2 people in a room and one person ends up dead, that's it. You already
Can
told
I see
me.
this?
What do I say?
I'm really trying to figure out like what is really going on right now.
I'm telling you what's going on. Text Congress, tell me what's going on.
This is
I'm not
crazy.
lying to you.
I feel like somebody's lying to me.
So you could think that, but you know the truth. You know.
The truth is she was in the tub. Alive.
I'm not down there.
Walked there herself.
I believe that. So I must know.
I don't know what. No.
Shit, man, it's gonna be the hardest.
Oh, no. That's what I'm not gonna do. There is no way. There's no way.
Then explain it to me.
Can you explain it to me?
No, I have explained it to you a couple of times.
I'm still in disbelief. I still cannot believe this. This is a joke.
Who killed that child?
I don't. No. What?
Who killed that child?
Nobody. Like nobody should have possibly killed her.
You think that she just woke up dead?
I thought it was the tub.
You thought the tub beat her to death?
What?
When let me tell you something. Do you know what a liver's supposed to look like?
No.
Let me show you. Let me show you real quick. That's the way our organs.
Could that have possibly happened when I did CPR on her? Because I was pushing her.
I told you, we see this in airplane crash victims. We see this in people that have been killed in car accidents.
No.
We see this in people that fall from great heights.
No.
Yes. This is what it should look like. This is what it looks like after somebody has punched or stomped on somebody's abdomen so hard that it ruptures their insides.
No.
Yes.
Nobody does anything like that.
Absolutely. People do it all the time.
No.
People do it all the time.
No.
This isn't a trick. This is real. This is Janine's. This is her liver. I'm not making this up. I'm not making it up. You were the only one with her. That's it. Why didn't you
happened to her in that tub?
Why didn't you protect her?
Where did it happen?
Nowhere. She was fine.
She went fine.
No,
Well,
she wasn't. But you got to help me understand, because you seem like a nice lady. I got to know how you were capable of doing that.
whoa, no, I'm not at all.
We see two types of people.
I'm not capable of doing that.
No, we see good people. We see people who love.
I genuinely thought it was the water. The whole when I gave her CPR, it was water coming out of her. I don't understand right now. I don't understand. I thought it was.
I know. Listen, I know you're not. But sometimes people are weak, and sometimes we do things that we regret.
No.
Sometimes we make decisions that we can't take back. We do something. There's an action that we can't take back once we've done it.
That time that could be.
And this is what happened.
Some type of mix-up.
I can't see you get.
There had to be a mix-up.
Okay, how'd you get so mad at her? What did she do?
What?
What did she do to make you?
No, that's not gonna work. Cause I didn't do that.
No, you did.
No, I didn't.
There's no doubt about it.
It's a doubt.
No.
I didn't do that.
You were the only one in the apartment. Richard wasn't there. Her death occurred within 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not saying this. A doctor is saying this. Her smart person.
There's no way.
Who was a lot more
Her
educated
death
than me.
could have possibly occurred within 2 to 3 minutes. No, she was up. She was up. She was doing fine.
Is this why you tried to kill yourself last night? Is this why? I mean, because I can't imagine the guilt. I can't imagine how guilty you must feel. Now, from the looks of your wrists and the look of your neck, I'm going to say you either tried to cut yourself, but just weren't able to do it deep enough. Because cutting yourself is tough. I'm going to guess that you tried to hang yourself at one point, or at least strangle yourself, so that you lost consciousness.
Her dad is feeling probably the same exact way, if not worse than me.
You don't have a mark.
The only difference.
You don't have a mark on his body. I just talked to him.
I know.
Talked to him the whole time.
I know.
He's in there crying.
She was
breaking
5,
down.
Carla.
I don't know what to do with him. He's so upset. He's beside himself. Now I talk to you. Not a tear in your eye. You've got cuts on your wrists. You've got contusions around your neck.
I'm in disbelief.
You can believe it because you tried to hurt yourself. Because you're feeling so bad about what you did. You tried to take your own.
Are you right now thinking in your head, if I just keep denying this?
No, I'm not thinking that at all.
Because there's so much evidence. So much.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, what other evidence?
How much evidence do you need?
I'm really trying to figure out what is really going on.
Have you ever built a puzzle?
And who haven't?
Right. You ever missing a couple pieces? You're like, oh shoot, I'm missing a couple pieces. But you can still figure out what the picture is, right? That's where we're at. I might be missing a few pieces of the puzzle,
I might be missing how it happened, why it happened, where in the apartment. I might be missing some pieces. Like I got the picture. No, I got the picture. The picture's there.
This has to be wrong.
There's nothing wrong about it. Now, if you were hitting her and you went too far, you had, maybe you didn't realize how hard you were hitting her, or maybe you fell on top of her and didn't realize how hard you did that, that's understandable. But if you woke up that morning going, I'm going to beat the crap out of this little kid, that's a different person.
No.
That's we need to figure out who we're talking to. Because I don't know who we're talking to right now. There's no amount of denial that's going to get those cuffs off today.
It's not about, I'm really trying to think right now. What could have possibly happened? I really am.
You're the only one who knows. There's only two people that knew.
This is crazy.
Why you only two people in the apartment? Shitty on life. Tell us what happened.
Don't let this little girl's death go without an explanation. She deserves it.
I didn't.
This little girl deserves the truth to be told. You owe it. She thought of you as her mother.
If I would have been told that something like that was wrong with her, she would have been a time away from me. It doesn't matter. Exactly. How I know? So if I would have known something like that was going on, she would have been in the hospital.
But something happened there. Something happened that caused those injuries. What do you mean way sooner? What are you talking about way sooner?
What are you talking about way sooner?
You pulled her out, you dressed her, you put her on the couch, and you didn't call her.
Exactly.
You called her.
That's why I said something would have been done way sooner.
When she was dead.
I didn't know.
You didn't know? How do you know?
How do I know? How do I know?
You know how I know? Because when
how do I know?
you're on the 911 tape going, I don't know if she's breathing. I heard it.
Yes, that's what I didn't know if she was breathing or not.
I don't know.
That's not how I wanted to know.
I have the tapes. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
We have all of it.
Yes, I know you have the tape. I'm not confused at all about that. But I'm really confused about this. I really am.
I'm very confused.
I am.
Then why are you saying you're not confused?
I'm not confused that you have the tapes. I'm not confused that you didn't hear what was going on, but the fact that you're trying to say that I was careless on the phone said, I don't know. No, that's not right.
Are you confused about the medical evidence that we have?
Yes, I'm confused about all of it. The fact that you guys are saying it was bruises to her bones?
To the bone.
That's insane. That's insane.
They're insane about this.
I don't even know.
There's nothing insane about this. You want to know what this is? This is her leg. This is the inside of her leg, and that is blood that's not supposed to be there. You want to see her arms? This is blood that's not supposed to be on her arms. Do you understand? That is blood that is not supposed to be there. Her legs are supposed to be almost milky pink. These are bruises. These are legit 100% bruises caused by an adult with a whole lot of force.
This is insane to me.
I already showed you what I need to show you. I ain't got nothing else for you.
Thought you should have got up on your time. Mommy, I'm just kidding. Was about the situation.
And then her daddy punk ass, he ain't said nothing about these bruises or shit neither. He just went to bed, woke up the next morning and gave plasma. He ain't seen his daughter. According to the story she telling.
Fine, she got the up. She was. Fine. She was.
You know what? You You're probably right. She probably was okay when she got in the tub. But it's what happened after.
She wasn't in the tub that long. Nothing happened after.
She.
Look at me. Please. Please look at me. The tub didn't kill this baby.
At first you said she take long baths. Now she wasn't in there that long.
So why was the water coming out of her?
Because it's natural. I mean, why she was in the water. So water got inside her.
No. She was breathing. I seen her. That's what I told you guys. She was breathing in the water. That's why I told her to sit up. She sat up. And then I left and came back. And she was laying back down. She was not in a situation to be, oh, no. I'm still like, damn, is she gonna come back? Is this really a fucking game right now?
She's not coming back.
No, she was breathing in that water. I'm telling you, she was alive. Nothing happened to her in the tub. She was breathing in the water. And I'm telling you that for sure. Because I had to tell her to sit up and stop doing that. And she did. She didn't get a whooping.
What was it after?
She didn't get a whooping that morning. At all. She didn't get a whooping.
Sheila, we've explained to you what happened.
Why do you think she got a whooping that day?
Well, if you said she was alive when you put her in the tub,
Very well.
what happened prior to you while she was in the tub?
No, I'm telling you, she was up. She was up.
Well, I'm saying she could have maybe walked to the type of injury. I doubt it. You would have probably had to carry her.
No, she walked to the tub.
See, the thing that unfortunately isn't going away. It's not. This is real. This is as serious as it gets. It doesn't get any more serious than this. We have a 5-year-old little girl that loved her daddy and loved her mama. And when I say loved her mama, I'm talking about you. That little girl woke up Wednesday morning. It's like it was another day. And in some time between the time she woke up and 8 o'clock in the morning, she died. And children just don't die. There were only 2 people inside that apartment. You
And her.
You're smart enough to understand what I'm talking about. You're intelligent enough to understand what I've explained to you.
I don't.
It might be hard.
She was breathing in the water. I don't.
I'm sure that it's hard to deal with.
I understand that. I don't want to believe that.
I know you don't.
This can't be. No.
I know you don't want to believe it. I wouldn't want to believe it either. I wouldn't want to believe that I would be capable of doing something like that to a child.
I didn't.
No, you did.
I didn't.
And you probably think that if you continue to deny,
No, I don't
that
think
it's going to
that.
make a difference. But it's not.
Yeah, you guys already have your mindset that it was just me.
You told me it was just you. Richard told
I
me it was
didn't
just you.
do that though.
Both of you told me that he left. He was gone. You both said that. You said that you were alone in the apartment with her.
She was fine though.
She wasn't.
She was.
No.
She was fine. She was.
Then why'd you try to hurt yourself?
I didn't do
Why
what
would
I
you try to
needed to
kill
do for
yourself?
her.
Why would you try and kill yourself?
If it wasn't your fault. What?
Because I was there with her.
So?
I thought she was sleeping.
You didn't think she'd sleep.
I genuinely thought she was
You're
sleeping.
smart enough to know when somebody is sleeping.
No, she played with lies. She played for kids. It's not about that. The difference. Like I said, she was still warm. I didn't even realize she was warm.
Shit, I know you don't think I'm on your side, but I'm the only voice you have right now. This is it. You got me. I'm the only one that's willing to tell your story.
She was alive. She was fine.
So what you want me to believe is that this poor child got the beating that ended her life. She was beat to death. The beating that ended her life. Nobody knows how it happened. It just happened. It happened while she was in the tub and you were out having a cigarette. Because 1 minute she's fine and the next minute she's dead.
She was alive in the tub when she got it. She was alive.
And she could have been.
She was.
But either what? So then what happened before. It doesn't change anything. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter if she was in the tub. It doesn't matter if she was in a car. It doesn't matter if she was laying on the couch. It doesn't matter where she was.
It doesn't matter because if she wasn't in that tub, she wouldn't have died. If I would have walked off, she would be still here.
No, she wouldn't.
She would. She would.
Shevion.
She would still be here if I didn't walk off from her. If I didn't think that.
She had already bled to death.
No.
Yeah.
No.
She did. No, she didn't. It's not a mystery. We know what killed her.
She didn't.
She did.
She didn't.
I don't keep listening. You can say she didn't as much as you want. You can say it till you're blue in the face. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't. I'm sorry. And if that's what makes you feel better, then you can.
If she died, how could she have possibly been breathing in the water? How could she be possibly doing that if she had died?
We told you it takes 2 to 3 minutes for something like that to happen.
She was in the tub longer than 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. So you probably, if what happened, which I'm assuming for whatever reason you got upset and you put that whooping on her.
No.
And then you put her in the tub trying to clean her up because she would have been bloody.
Bloody? What?
From her mouth. Because she's got injuries in her mouth. She would have had a bloody nose.
What?
So you put her in the tub to clean her off.
That's completely made up.
Because we see it all the time.
But I didn't ever agree to or say that would happen.
The first time that I've seen
I didn't at no point in time agree to saying that happened. I didn't say that happened.
The first time that I've seen a baby with a lacerated liver, that baby died because of that. This ain't the first time. I see this all the time.
She was breathing in that water.
But then you whooped her before you put her in the tub.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You did.
No.
Now, I don't know if you used your feet or if you used your hands or how you did it or if you struck her with an object that was inside the apartment to cause that type of an injury.
No.
But there is no doubt in anyone's mind that that child died from a beating. And like my partner said.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. 100%. Because you yourself said
she was breathing
she
in the
hadn't
water.
been in any accident. She hadn't been hurt. She didn't have no bruises the night before when you put her to bed. You all said when we put her to bed, she was just fine.
Nobody did never say that. I told you she got into a scuffle outside.
Oh, sure. Okay. Not that kind of scuffle.
She got into a scuffle outside.
Then she would have been dead that day. She'd been dead that afternoon. Are you telling me that you had a dead baby in your house all day and you never called the police?
She died.
No, she died in the morning. After Richard left.
No.
Yep.
No, she didn't.
Yep.
And yeah, she did.
I know she did.
She drowned.
No, she did. She was beat to death.
You just said that, y'all covered the bed, nothing was ever wrong with it. I didn't. No, I didn't. I told you she had a scuffle, and that's how she got beat up like that. I told you that from the beginning.
Well, that didn't cause it. You said she came in with a little black eye. She had dinner, had a sandwich. Y'all watched TV. You put her down on the bed. Okay. You said the scuffle was around 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Y'all had dinner and good night and put her in bed. You got her up for a bath the next day and put her in the bathtub. You said she walked to the tub.
So if I possibly did that up in the tub for more than 10 minutes.
Well,
if you guys are saying that was a 2-minute type of situation. No, she was up.
I mean, this is
very alive.
This is just what you're telling me. I mean, I don't know the timeline. I have to go off what you say. I know she was in the tub because her hair was wet. We know she was in the tub because there was blood in the tub. We know she was in the bathroom because there was blood on the floor. No
that was
doubt,
old.
No doubt in my mind
prior.
that you put her in the tub. I agree.
That was part of that. If I go run the water in the tub right now, that blue stuff is going to fill up the whole tub. And if I let it out and don't wash the tub out, it's going to fill up again.
But that's not a question. You put her in the tub. You said you put her. I believe you. I believe you did put her in the tub. I do. I do.
So are you guys trying to arrest me for murder?
You are going to be charged with murder.
Are you serious?
Yes, very serious.
I did not do that.
Chevion was charged with 1 count of murder and 6 counts of child abuse, including neglect or endangerment resulting in substantial bodily harm. But Richard Davis was allowed to go home and plan a funeral for his daughter. Janiah's birth mother never attended Janiah's funeral. Police were also unable to obtain an interview from her. About a year later, lab results for the DNA to her father, Richard Davis. Due to the sperm fraction found inside Janiah, he was arrested on August 7th.
That's fucked up. That child wasn't loved by anyone. Her mom didn't attend the funeral. I will give the mom credit though. She didn't want the child, and instead of harming the child, she called CPS and said, I can't do it. But damn, this child wasn't loved by anyone. 5 years old.
17th of 2020 and charged with 1 count of murder, 6 counts of child abuse, neglect or endangerment resulting in substantial bodily harm, 1 count of SA with a minor under the age of 14, and 1 count of lewdness with a child under the age of 14. At first, the trial was going to proceed with the objective being to try the couple together, but a conflict of interest was determined and the courts decided to try the pair separately, with Chevion Miller's trial being dealt with first. She never testified in her own defense, but there were some key points brought up during her trial that certainly need to be addressed. So let's start with the DNA.
Shit back. That sick motherfucker. Hopefully he didn't been touched up in jail, hopefully.
Police were also unable.
Hold on, I don't think I took it back far enough. I'm taking it all the way back to the top.
Chevion was charged with 1 count of murder and 6 counts of child abuse, including neglect or endangerment resulting in substantial bodily harm. But Richard Davis was allowed to go home and plan a funeral for his daughter. Janiah's birth mother never attended Janiah's funeral. Police were also unable to obtain an interview from her. About a year later, lab results for the DNA found underneath Janiah's fingernails confirmed that DNA belonged to her father, Richard Davis. Due to the sperm fraction found inside Janiah, he was arrested on August 17th of 2020 and charged with 1 count of murder, 6 counts of child abuse, neglect or endangerment resulting in substantial bodily harm, 1 count of SA with a minor under the age of 14, and 1 count of lewdness with a child under the age of 14. At first, the trial was going to proceed with the objective being to try the couple together, but a conflict of interest was determined and the courts decided to try the pair separately, with Chevion Miller's trial being dealt with first. She never testified in her own defense, but there were some key points brought up during her trial that certainly need to be addressed. So let's start with the DNA found on the child. The sample taken under Janiah's fingernail definitely, beyond the shadow of a doubt, belonged to Richard Davis. There was no question about that. There was, however, contention during the trial as to whether or not the DNA found inside Janiah actually belonged to Richard or was even a match for Richard. But the prosecution showed a photo and claimed that the swabs used to conduct the test took the samples from a position far enough inside the body that a towel simply wouldn't reach. What we do know is that the tiny fraction that was found inside Janiah's body was confirmed to have 2 DNA donors. One was likely Janiah, and the other was definitely a male, but the sample was just too small to determine exactly who the male donor was, so the test results on that could neither confirm or exclude Janiah's father. Richard's arrest stemmed from the fact that there were no other males present around Janiah for days leading up to her murder. But then about 8 days before Chevion's trial, Richard's SA charge was mysteriously dropped. There were also major disputes about Janiah's time of death. While Janiah definitely died in the apartment, her official death was recorded at the hospital as 8:25 a.m. Her body temperature, taken slightly before that, was 87 degrees Fahrenheit, which is significantly lower than normal. Because of this, her estimated time of death was initially believed to have been roughly 2 hours before first responders arrived. And if that was the case, then Chevion was the only one that could have murdered Janiah because she was the only one with her at the time. But later, Dr. Cornell estimated that Janiah may have actually passed 3 to 4 hours before she was pronounced dead, which means she very well could have died as early as 3:30 a.m. And that changes everything. I wonder if the bath and the heater were simply ways to keep the body warm long enough for a monster to get offside. And while we can only speculate, thanks to the trial, we now know that could indeed be a possibility. According to the defense, neither the bat nor the belt found in the apartment, as well as other items and evidence, were ever tested, which is kind of odd, especially considering that neither Chevion nor Richard had any damage to their hands. And what about those boxing glove type things seen on the floor in the evidence photos? They'd certainly be a good way to protect one's hands while attacking someone else, but as it stands, they don't seem to have been tested. Another alarming thing the defense brought up was Exhibit 301, which was a video that showed Richard Davis at the Telcris Plasma Donation Center. The claim was that Richard looked visibly distraught roughly an hour and a half before he should have known anything had happened to his daughter. He was described as slouched in his chair, head down, shaking his head. He was also noted by a Telcris worker to not really have reacted much to the news about his daughter. It's impossible for me to watch these clips and not think there's something off about Richard. His demeanor is certainly alarming, but is that due to the context of this video or the lack of context in understanding Richard's baseline behaviors? There's no doubt in my mind with this, and personally I find his presence in these clips highly unsettling. There's no denying that Richard, by observation only, could be considered strange in his mannerisms, but strange is not evidence that he murdered Janiah. Another big thing that was brought up briefly during Chevion's trial was Dejanay Williams, the friend Chevion referred to as her sister, the one with the kids that Janiyah allegedly touched inappropriately. The prosecution had tried relentlessly to get Dejanay to respond to subpoenas, but they simply couldn't locate her. They had her name down as Dejanay Johnson, spelled like this, so who knows, maybe that had something to do with it. But suddenly on the last day of Chevion's trial, the prosecutor was somehow able to locate Dejanay and talk her into testifying that morning. In the 3 years leading up to the trial, no one had ever interviewed this witness about the murder. According to the prosecution, Dejanay said she had babysat Janiyah, and he did state that she found Richard weird and that he made her uncomfortable. But at the time, she needed a place to stay, so, in her words, beggars can't be choosers. Dejanay also allegedly told the prosecution that on multiple occasions, Richard Davis would turn the TV up and discipline Janiyah in the other room. Dejanay described how she could still hear Janiyah screaming over the noise, but she wasn't exactly sure what Richard was doing to her. However, she went on to note that Chevion had recently told her she wanted out of the relationship, and she was tired of watching Richard's child and being responsible for her. The prosecution alleged that Dejanay heard Chevion say she would kill Janiyah. Not only that, but there was evidence submitted before a grand jury in the form of an anonymous Crime Stopper tip that also claimed someone was going to kill Janiyah. There's no proof, but the prosecution seemed to think that person was Dejanay. The prosecution also mentioned several jail phone calls between Chevion and Dejanay until suddenly, Dejanay decided to sever contact with Chevion for good. The jail phone calls are recorded somewhere, but I was unable to obtain them. Due to objections by the defense, Dejanay Williams was not allowed to testify at Chevion's trial. Also submitted into evidence was a text message from Chevion to Richard days earlier stating, "Your daughter is the devil." Chevion Imani Miller was convicted of first-degree murder and child abuse resulting in substantial bodily harm. She was sentenced to serve 20 to 50 years behind bars. She's currently serving time in the Florence McClure Women's Correctional Facility in Las Vegas, Nevada. Richard Davis was eventually released on bail, and I haven't been able to find a single update on his case.
If you all had known my grandbaby, you would totally love her. She loved her siblings. Like she
that
loved her
nigga
siblings.
ran.
The world is gonna miss out. They're already missing out on the beautiful soul that was. She's been 10 years old. And I wonder what was she in love? She had so much hair. It was crazy. Like I'm low-key jealous, but she has so much hair on her little tiny head. But I just wonder, would her hair be longer? Would she have wanted it cut? Like I just all of it. What would she be into? Like all the stuff that I think about. And I don't know. There is no answer. There will never be an answer for it. At some point, my daughter, Janiyah's mom, confided in us that Richard had physically put hands on her abusively. And I'm just like, what? I remember one time he was telling us about a fight that he had, and he beat this person down so bad that out of his own mouth, he said, "My hands are registered weapons in the state of Nevada." And I was like, wow, that to me was a red flag. This person make you angry and you just took it out. Like, I don't know. I don't remember the details. I just remember that phrase that he said, and it kind of blew my mind. I kept that in the back of my mind all these years. I just remember that when she made the decision to send Janiyah, everybody was against it because I couldn't understand why my daughter didn't call me to be like, can you help me with the girls? Because if I had to get a second job or whatever I had to do to help her, I would have made myself available to do that. Richard wasn't in Janiyah's life. And now all of a sudden, you want to take care of her and this, that, and blah, 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 which I didn't understand. It's like, you've been gone and away for 4 years now. My daughter's been pretty much doing this on her own with intermittent help from me as I understood where she was at. And now you want to show up? What's that about? Like, what do you have to gain from this? Well, then we found out that he had a girlfriend, Siobhan. I didn't know her, had never met her, didn't know anything about her. But my daughter did tell me that Siobhan had a miscarriage. And then I found out from, in the strangest way, Siobhan's mom, after the trial, that Richard had beat her and she lost baby. So Siobhan's mom told me that. And they let my grandbaby go from Colorado to Las Vegas illegally. The state of Colorado wasn't even supposed to let her come back here because they were the custodians at the time. So she wasn't even supposed to come. No paperwork was done. No, nothing was done. They dropped the ball. They totally dropped the ball. They did not do what they were supposed to do. Now she's in the grave. He could have just sent her back to Colorado. I would have went and picked her up. I would have picked her up. You wouldn't have had to twist my arm. You wouldn't even have to convince me. None of that. I need to come get you. I'll be there tomorrow. And would have left immediately. So her death was unnecessary, except for revealing who Siobhan and Richard really are. The next time I had heard anything about Janiyah, her welfare, her well-being, was the day I got the phone call from social services 15 days after her birthday, she was killed. She was beaten to death. She didn't even get to be 5 years old and start school. Her funeral was on September the 24th of that same year. And I would have liked to have participated, but it seems that Richard and his family took control over the whole thing. They didn't want us to come to the wake. Like, none of that. I was like, what is wrong with y'all? I didn't have any information. Like, I hounded him on Facebook. I need to know when the funeral is because I'm coming. If you think for 1 minute that you're going to bury my granddaughter and I'm not going to be there, you got life and the other stuff completely mixed up. So he finally gave me the date and the time. And so I wanted my daughter to be there. She was going to come and then she didn't. She was going to come. I had $400 to my name and I said, I will buy you a plane ticket right now. But she said, Mama, if I go, I don't trust myself. So me and my mom and Sarah and her best friend went to the funeral. And some people are like, well, why didn't her mom come? Why didn't her? You know what? Don't knock it until you've been there. And I wasn't angry with her for not showing up. I was able to speak at the funeral on her behalf. So we get to the funeral. Richard is standing there, tears. And I'm thinking, I gave him a little side hug because I wanted to feel his spirit. And my mom, she wasn't hugging. She was like, no. She didn't ever like him either. So she certainly wasn't going to give him a hug. So I gave him a little side hug, a little pat, whatever. And it was so fake. It felt fake to me. And that may be harsh, but I was there. It felt fake. And so we're sitting there during the service and the whole thing. And then Richard goes up to the casket and he's, I'm looking at him like, bro, this don't feel right to me. This feel like you had something to do with it. And in my opinion, he did have something to do with it. We went to the trial and I knew it was going to be intense. I knew it was going to be graphic. I knew it was going to be a lot of what most people may not be able to handle, but I needed to know what happened to my granddaughter because it wasn't no freaking, her heart stopped. Well, yeah, her heart stopped because she was beat to death. That's why her heart stopped, but it wasn't because she had a heart attack or some heart complications. Don't get me twisted because it didn't make any sense. So we get to the trial and, we hear all this testimony about the stuff that happened to her. And I am floored. She wasn't just beat. Like when they showed a picture of her liver and then they said it is a lacerated liver, the pathologist said it wasn't just like she got like maybe punched in the stomach. It looked like someone had stomped on her and her liver looked like mush. So all the details after that, I mean, it was just more and more and more. The bruising all over her body, from her neck, all the way down to her ankles. And I'm thinking, you all are trying Siobhan. And she, as far as I'm concerned, foolishly took the rap for it. Where was Richard in all this? Her daddy. Okay, the one that seeded the egg. Where is he at in all of this? Because something in my maternal mind, as a mother and a grandmother, could not possibly calculate or compute the fact that this one woman, she's culpable for sure, because she was there and didn't do nothing to stop it. But I don't think it was her. I don't. So we get through the trial. We literally watched them take my granddaughter apart a little bit at a time. Like we saw the inside of her ribs where she had hemorrhaged because they were broken, and some, if I remember correctly, had broken and healed, and fresh fractures and things like that. And I'm thinking, and then I remember when Richard said to me, my hands are registered weapons with the state of Nevada. They never left me. And it came back screaming loud and clear. I was glad that she was found guilty.
It's a 5-year-old named
but it still didn't sit right in my soul and my spirit that it was all her. Because it wasn't. There's no way. But see, that's where my faith comes in handy. Because I know that the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, he gonna get the final say. I don't care what nobody say. So we have prayed, me and Sarah, that God would deal with Siobhan's heart. Don't give her no peace. Don't give her no rest until she speaks the truth out of her mouth. Until the absolute truth comes out, there's going to be no justice. There will be no justice for Janiyah. But the paramedics said that her hair was not wet. Now, if you know anything about Black people's hair, when it's in braids, Janiyah's hair was braided, and it gets wet, it takes a minute for it to dry. I mean, unless you got like super thin hair, when it's braiding cornrows, it takes a minute for it to dry. So by the time the paramedics arrived, if she had truly been in the bathtub and drowned, her hair would have still been wet. And he said her hair was not wet. So that was like key to the fact that this situation did not happen in the water in the bathtub. Not like that. So we heard a lot. We've seen a lot. The stuff that might give some people nightmares. So yeah, that's what happened to my grandbaby. But in my heart, it's not over. It's not over until the truth comes out, because I need to know what part Richard played in Jania's death.
You know, it's been 3 years since I first heard the name Jania Russell. It's been a lot of tracking down documents, evidence, USB drives getting lost in the mail, multiple times I might add, and even refusals of FOIA or open records requests for various reasons, including Chevion Miller's appeal, which was recently rejected. I've spent so much time researching this little girl's case and her life that even I feel like I should have been at her funeral. It's a horrible case, and cases involving children always stick with me. And this one specifically reminds me so much of Fallon Friedli's murder. For those of you who haven't seen my video on Fallon Friedli, there's so many similarities between these two cases. Kirsty and Chevion were both supposed to be babysitting the little girls that were found murdered in their care. Both crimes involved a bathtub. Both crimes involved severe liver injuries and bellies full of blood. Both cases involved adults who went for a smoke during crucial moments. Both cases involved neglecting to provide or call for aid when it mattered most, when it was obvious the children wouldn't survive without it. And then when it comes to the interrogations, if you ever question whether or not Chevion is guilty based on hers, just let me show you what a guilty person looks like. This is Fallon Friedli's murderer, Kirsty Flood.
According to the doctors in the ER,
Yes.
her belly is full of blood. She's got an injury to her liver, her spleen, and her colon.
Oh my God, stop.
She's got bruises all over her body.
Stop.
She's got bruises all over her head.
Oh my, I can't even believe. How exactly? How would that even have happened? That is extremely confusing. And the only thing that I could even think of is if she tripped.
So her tripping and falling would not cause those injuries.
I don't even understand.
So tell me how this happened.
Neither of us are violent people. That doesn't even make sense to me how that would even happen. But I would never lose me cool on that level. Well, I did not do anything to that little girl. And you are not about to her head.
You want to see the picture of the baby?
You know accidents happen.
I do, because I have 4 kids.
Exactly my point.
If she hadn't been caught on her own home surveillance system, she might still be free. She makes a lot of the same statements Chevion made, and she's adamant of her innocence. I've actually connected Jania's grandmother and Fallon's mother. I hope that connection will be fruitful and help them heal from their losses, knowing that they aren't forced to face them alone. If you ask me I'll be campaigning for Chevion not to be released. In fact, I'll be starting a petition. And I'm eagerly waiting for Richard's day in court. There's so much more to this, even just with my involvement. I've spoken to other people close to this case, and I even have conversations with some of them recorded. Hell, I've even spoken to Chevion's own mother, who makes some pretty outlandish claims. And who knows, maybe she's right. I can't speak about all those here on this channel, though. But along with some of Jania's family, be discussing these other things in much more detail there. In fact, I've been exchanging letters with Chevion Miller. I've got some phone calls from her, too. Join me on the Justice for Jania Russell page, or on my own new true crime channel, One Crime TM, to find out more and show your support for finding answers to this tragedy. My final notes on this case are as follows. Jania Russell was let down by this world. Almost everyone that was supposed to protect and love her either abandoned or abused her, and she had only just turned 5. When she was beaten to death, so many people stayed silent. When she was crying out for help, clearly dealing with some kind of trauma, ears turned deaf. So many refused to speak out in time, or for some even at all. Very few cared about Jania. Almost every news article on this
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for the moment. I think later I'm gonna react to the clip that I cut out. Well, not the clip, I'm gonna react to the entire live, because apparently that lady was on there whining and crying and she was upset. And I didn't trigger her to come under my post, so I'm gonna try to bring her out in the live. So we'll be going to Dalton for a minute. What you laughing at, Truth?
Nothing.
Fib Nation. What's that, Fib Nation? How you doing, Fib Nation? You okay? You okay, Fib Nation? Yeah.
What is Fib Nation?
That nigga done got a job.
No.
He ain't got time for this shit no more. He got a job. He ain't got time for this shit. That what African Petty said. Tell Destiny I said, hey, she just hollering, Ma.
She getting on my damn nerves. Come get her, Trey. Oh my God. I
Go
can't make a
home,
sound.
Destiny.
I can't make a sound without her thinking I done passed out.
Yeah, Goodwill. He got him a job. That's where he at.
Okay,
He
so
probably drop
African
a video
Petty.
in the next
Can,
5
can
days.
you call African Petty and ask African Petty where he work at so we can call him?
Okay, I'll check it out. I see what's up. He might be back in the lab working on his hair growth formula.
Oh God, no.
He may have took some of that YouTube check and went back in there. He just had to buy some more lion and elephant fat.
Well, you know what? That's smart. You're supposed to invest in yourself. That's smart.
I don't know we know where his wife is. She ran off with them $1,000.
Oh God.
She got them. She
She is
did them
MIA. She
6
probably ain't
hours of
coming back.
courses and went to.
She probably ain't coming back to
She went to the bank,
summer
man.
break.
She made about 1,200, man. She dipped. She sold 6 courses, man. She like, shit, I'm good for a minute. Ching ching.
Well, that was good. That was good. You know. At
And
this
she in
point,
school, so
at this point, that's probably what her YouTube chick look like. Damn.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. What you want live?
Absolutely. I'm going live early today because we getting it in. I'm probably gonna be live in about 2 hours, if not one. Sugar, you going live? I be trying to wait to see if other people gonna go live. But them nighttime lives killing me.
Let me see if Mimi
I
done
knew
took her
yesterday
live
Trey
off
Love was
private.
going live. Hi.
I said, let me see if Mimi done took her live off private shit.
Who was that? Oh, what live?
Mimi, one half of the God sisters. They had
What
a
happened to
live
her
last
live?
night. I
Trey, I'm
interrupted
trying to
Bible
see why
study.
I'm seeing the
Bible clout chasing.
motherfucking. Hold on. I'm trying to see why I'm gonna go to the big what? I'm trying to see why I'm seeing the ad on this here live stream of yours. Oh, I'm under the wrong account. I was finna say.
Hey, watch it. It's okay. Watch it.
I'm watching it. I'm gonna go to the big back at 1. So it's like 12, 11 your time, huh, Sugar? Ain't you an hour ahead of me? Where them fans at?
Yeah, so nope, I still don't see it.
What happened on the live, Trey?
Weird. I had crashed Bible study. I was just going to clout chase, but then when in my clout chasing, it was what Urban ended up being on the panel. I ain't know Mookie was up there and Vons was up there. It just was talking and things. They had a question about one of this, and it was an interesting conversation.
I'm sure.
Dang, we can't find
I'm
it
glad
now. It's
none.
gone.
Why would you take down Bible study?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Can't find it. I can't find it though. Maybe it was taken down because somebody was gonna criticize it or something. You know how that go.
Child,
There
if
was
they was
no
gonna
arguing and fighting
whoever
and
gonna
things of
criticize
that nature.
it, Whoever gonna criticize it was in the live and screenshotted it. Get out of here.
They got it anyway.
Huh?
I said, so they got it anyway.
Right. You know that.
Nanya, pop out. Where's my Nanya? I need you, Nanya. I need you. Nanya, can you hear me?
Holla if you hear me.
You say Nanya name 3 times, she pop out. That was a good one. That dude put together. Law and Crime played that, Jet. So hopefully it's all right for me to play it, because they did it first. They featured that, Jet. He did some work on that sucker though, but and then he said there's no update on the dad, so he hadn't even went to trial yet, unless he took a plea. But then that would have been shown too. But the mom did say if she go to the funeral, she know herself, man, you needed to be there to get that nigga.
You know, Trey, some people can't go to funeral, especially when it be something like this. Baby, they would turn the church out. You know, sometimes it's best to stay away, child.
Sometimes
Just
that needs to happen.
No, not in the church. Don't do that.
Sometimes the church need to be turned out. The Jesus temple. Just saying, he turned the church out a couple times when they was in there on that fuck shit.
Oh God. Oh God. I'm about to snatch my whole head off.
He did. It's in the book. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see y'all on Truth Channel in the next hour or two, she said.
No, Sugar going live Sugar going live in about 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna go live in the next maybe 2-3 hours. Didn't you just see she said she going live?
Truth will be live at about 5 o'clock.
You know what? Get the hell out, Trey. Just go. Just get. Are you gonna go now,
I
Sugar?
saw trains and planes fly upside down. Okay, I see that. She still Truth will be live by 4:30, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday.
You know
she
what?
like, shit. I'm gonna kick back with my feet up.
Oh shit. Right, Truth, that he did. That he did, MoneyBoy. I mean, Lynn said you right, Troy.
Yeah, dude, he put together a good presentation. That sucker was well laid out. All right, y'all. See y'all in a bit. We out. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shooters, bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us a misfit. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the thick bitch. Oh shit, didn't nobody come to see you old, it's some focus. Shoot 100 shots, no reloaded. Master of the game, you would think I'm into coded. Memphis niggas spit this pippin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, with my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Stay high, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Copy, cooking, whipping, shipping, till we count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving back niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hating, but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we gon' eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it bunny, don't speak. Pour up, oh, I need some more. A nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach. I'm too geek. Walking by myself, but left with 2 freaks. Ooh, we nothing in they mouth and on they booty. Austin Power swag, yeah, baby, this is groovy. You can call me Money Boy, or you can call me Nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a 2-piece. Top down, 2-seater, let me feel the 2 breathe. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing. nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches is some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Ron Island cause I like my love for choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. Call me Ron Island cause I love my love for choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Pussy ass nigga, bow, Limp Bizkit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, Limp Bizkit.